794-197.3. But a breathless public, smart, good-looking listeners statewide have tuned in today at 3 o'clock for an update on the lawn at Castle Brandt.
Yeah.
We talked about it Friday.
Getting little sproutlings in there. It's starting to come up.
Everybody. Oh, so the people who told you to be patient
were right.
We're winning the day.
Yes. I mean,
maybe planted some grass seed and was disappointed by the early returns.
Wasn't coming out. It wasn't coming out. No, but it's starting to come up now. So we're
everybody who said just relax.
Yeah, it's a long road. We still have a long road to go.
I love it.
We have a long road,
but you're starting to see progress.
Yes, I'm feeling better about
how much. How much? What's the breakthrough rate of this patch of grass that you planted? Because Kenneth P. Bull.
Oh my God, Kenneth P. Bull
soiled it.
Yes, Kenneth P. Bull was digging up. He dug up this whole one area of the lawn, so we just filled it in and we went to plant it, and then it didn't. It just wasn't coming back. So now he's digging up another area of the lawn, but this one is coming back. And grass is finally starting to grow.
All right,
man. That's the one thing I do admit, Drew. I mean, taking the moving from
the empty
suburbia, to a building where there is no lawn care required, can be a bit. I'm a little bit envious, and don't get me wrong.
It's quite liberating not to worry about sump pumps or worry about lawn.
Yeah, the sump pump. There we go.
That stuff. Yeah, I got to say, it's quite liberating. I've circled back. I now live a life like Hunter does. Hunter doesn't have any yard work.
I don't.
You don't have any of that stuff.
I miss it.
H&S Lawn Care Services that rocked lacrosse back in the day.
Oh yeah.
He's now what do you do for that? When you go to your grandparents' house, do you cut the grass? Do you occasionally help mom and dad out with their lawn?
Occasionally in lacrosse. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do that this summer. But yeah, I do miss it.
He misses it.
Hopefully you get to see your parents. Not hopefully you get to mow lawns, because I can help you out there.
Both.
Okay, yeah. If you want a little side hustle.
I was going to say, KB's looking for a guy. You should talk to Wayne Larvey. He's got a guy.
He's got a guy, but you can't find a kid. You can't find a 12, 13, 14-year-old kid anywhere to mow a lawn.
No, there's no Hunter and Sawyers living in your area. Oh, yeah. That's wild. All right, 877-794-1973. You're going to need to know that momentarily. But first, I'm contractually obligated to remind you that our Bonus Bucks contest continues. You can win $1,000 by entering the nationwide keyword at 973thegame.com. And the keyword this hour is bank. Let's take it to the bank. Or as Ted Davis said, it's in the bank, it's earning interest. Bank is the keyword at 973thegame.com. A nationwide contest for you to win $1,000. Haven't heard of anybody listening to our show winning yet, but that could change today. So the key word for KB with his lawn was patience.
Mm-hmm.
Do people have that patience with your Milwaukee Brewers? They've continued their pattern of puking away the first two games of a series and then salvaging the finale, getaway day, to avoid the sweep. Confidence meter is at what? You saw them get sand kicked in their faces by the Twins, who were without the services of their two best players over the weekend, or two of their three best players in Byron Buxton and Correa. So where are you at with the Brewers?
You know what? I don't, it's not pretty, and Hunter, you would know, you're down hard with every inning, every pitch, but the way I'm seeing it is that there are concentration issues. I mean, some of the errors that are being made,
and things
like that.
The defense is leakier.
The defense,
that to be the same.
Well, it just doesn't seem like they're misplaying balls in the outfield. I mean, last week Chirio had two poorly played balls.
Yeah, and he also saved the game yesterday with the catch for the year.
Well, he did, but I'm just saying the ones that he missed were pretty basic misreads.
That could be a function of youth, perhaps. And again, like Curio, there's a name for it. People call it the sophomore slump, that your second year in the big leagues is often, tougher than the first, second time around. And that's what we're seeing as these guys kind of get established. Brewers, it's not a hopeless situation. They're not the Rockies. They're not the White Sox. This is kind of a big week for the Brewers, though, because they're in a stretch where they're playing 13 games in 13 days. That started after the day off Thursday with the Twins series. 13 games in 13 days. They didn't play well against the Twins. They saved yesterday's game, thanks to Churio and thanks to Freddie Peralta. and some timely hitting. They were due. They won getaway game. Now this week, the Orioles are in town for 3. The Orioles are horrible. They fired their manager. They're not good. They give up home runs like Halloween candy. Not that the Brewers are hitting a lot of those, but it would be nice to start. And so still a little bit chilly. We always say the ball starts to jump when the weather heats up at American Family Field. But they face them and then the Pirates. And as long as you can sidestep Skeens, you don't have much to worry about with the Pirates. So this is a 7-game stretch
where they could get healthy.
Where they could, maybe, I don't know about healthy, but, get back
healthier.
Over 500 to get, 5-2 wouldn't be an unreasonable ask. But then again, the key numbers for the Brewers right now, and Hunter, I think you clipped a rant that I went on, might have been last Monday, or was it Hot Take Hump Day? It was just, I went on a rant about this being a gap year for the Brewers and the people's expectations. Like, if you're thinking playoffs and like they're a player away, who can they trade for? They're not a player away in my book. They're just not. This doesn't have we're a quarter of the way into the season. Nothing's set in stone, but this doesn't have the sheen of a playoff team. And there are some numbers to consider right now that I think people, who are dreaming of playoffs, or if playoffs is your expectation, playoff or bust, consider that the Brewers right now today are 6 games behind the Cubs in the division. Cubs are a game away from achieving what we always say is the first goal of every team. If they beat Miami tonight, they'll be 10 games over 500. First goal of every team every season, get to 10 games over 500, right? That's the first really attainable box that you can check, I think, in a season. Cubs are right there. Brewers are 6 games behind the Cubs. They are also, and it's ridiculous to talk about this, but we have to, they're also 6 games out of the wild card race as we stand. And the way the league is laying out, and you look at the other teams in other divisions, the second and third place teams in other divisions are going to finish likely with a better record than the Brewers are. So I'm saying it looks like it's division or bust for the Brewers. Can they really win the division? You think they can overtake the Cubs? Did you see them play that series? Again, there's 3/4 of the season left. Anything can happen. But entering a play today, the Brewers offense ranks 23rd in on-base percentage in the major leagues, 25th in batting average, 27th in on-base plus slugging, which is a good metric, and 27th in home runs. Somehow, maybe because they're 15th in walks, they're 16th in runs. So they're kind of overperforming their lack of power in some ways, as silly as that sounds. But those numbers aren't particularly encouraging. And then on the pitching side, Brewers are 18th in ERA, team ERA, and pitching has been pretty good. Like, it hasn't been the problem that we envisioned. They're 20th in walks and hits per inning, and their strikeout to walk ratio is like 25th. None of those metrics scream October baseball to me.
No.
So I said like a week ago, I said, this is like, consider this a gap year. Consider it a step on the ladder, a step to develop the young guys, see what you got, and they will get some injured guys back. But are Blake Perkins and Garrett Mitchell that much better than Isaac Collins and the rest of the guys that are running out there now?
You need Yelich to hit better than 199 and Contreras to hit better than 239, and both of them to have more homers.
Yeah. The thing with Contreras is he's got that finger thing that's just messing him up. You know it. Like, he's way better than he's showing right now, but he's also playing with a broken damn finger.
Mm-hmm.
I just, and Yelich is Yelich. We always say it's hard to be a really good player on a mediocre to bad team. And this team is the definition of mediocre right now. Can it change?
It certainly is.
Am I rooting against them? No, I'm being a realist.
It's average to below average. And people can kind of pump the brakes on the, before we start getting, hammered with the apologist emails or apologist texts. You're just an apologist for.
I'm not an apologist. I'm a realist.
No, this is right.
Again, I'm a realist. Like, they're just not like, and so again,
I mean, I am as well.
Like, no, don't think of it as like, oh, who can we trade? First of all, the Brewers should probably be in sell mode, even though it's a little early for that. But at the break, I mean, the Phillies just lost a reliever. Brewers could peel off a Uribe, or just get pieces. And the thing is, with the pipeline of talent the Brewers have, a step back year, if this ends up being the step back year that it looks like it's going to be, it's not like they're doomed to lose 100 games for the next 5 years. They could win 90 next year.
Well, the most important thing is that if I'm sitting and looking at this team, the most important thing is not to, decimate that farm club looking for trying to pull this season out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because
No,
there are many good seasons coming.
By selling, you're looking to add pieces.
Right. No,
I'm
that's
not
what I'm
looking to peel off. Oh, let's go get a shortstop like Adamas and trade two big, two chips out of this.
That's my point. Is you have to look at it that way. So from a fan standpoint, right?
So the smart thing to do is stay the course, and staying the course.
Well, for now,
get you home.
For now, no, you stay the course and you can sell some things, and maybe if people are buying, but don't go out buying, with your minor league system. No. Don't go buying with prospects, because you know what? Every team makes a step back, and I'll tell you something. Even though I still watch the games, still get disappointed. I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater here, but you said, we're just being realists. If they have a bad year, a tough year, they have a tough year. I mean, it happens to every team.
It certainly does.
Okay. And it's, I guess I'm just looking at it saying it's still going to be a good season for me, because
you enjoy ball. It's your nightly companion.
I know, and I enjoy watching.
I was at the park a couple days this weekend. All right, we also have to talk. First of all, it is Game Balls and Kicks to the Balls Monday, and we will start lining those up right now. 877-794-1973. On Monday, we do the ceremony. We're in the locker room, and if someone does a job for a job well done, you can give them a game ball. And Hunter's got the sound bite for you today. A game ball from Drew and KB is this.
Get that skunk out.
Good reference by Jeff Levering there on FanDuel Sports. Conversely, performance improvement plan. Someone cuts you off in traffic. They get your order wrong at the drive-thru. You want to give somebody a swift kick to the huevos. A kick to the balls today is this.
When you're lower than whale poop.
That's a good quote, too. Well done, Hunter. You picked two of the good ones from this weekend.
Two of the best.
Yes. 877-794-1973. And I'm just being a realist about the Brewers. And I think a little paradigm shift. The Twins beat the Brewers handily this weekend. They came within an eyelash of tying that game. If Chourio doesn't pull that ball back yesterday and that game is tied in the 8th, you think the Brewers win that game? I'm not thinking they do. No. Anything can happen, but I'm not thinking they do. But they did. But the Twins handled the Brewers with relative ease with, again, Carlos Correa and Byron Buxton were watching. And so that's not nothing. And I'm just looking at it and I'm reading the tea leaves. I'm reading the room. And, if the Brewers were to sell, and here's the conundrum, and this is where people, Mark, Atanasio is just trying to provide a summer of entertainment for families and try to, have people gather around the ball club. He's not trying to win. Well, he wants to win, but the conundrum for the Brewers that they face that other teams do not is that they are more dependent than other markets because of their smallest TV deal. They need the turnstiles. They need people to come. And if they were to sell, let's say the Brewers by midseason, they trade Peralta, McGill, and Hoskins.
Oh, dear God.
Might be the right move, but it would also probably lead people to be pissed off and kill the gate, which they don't want to do. So that's the conundrum, is like, it's not a rebuild because they have pieces that they can build around, and they're getting guys back from on the pitching side. And they have a good stream of talent coming from the minor leagues. Everybody's drooling about Mizorowski, and he's probably getting close. And okay, they have that, but then it's going to take a while. And I was like, okay, Brewers, put them on the clock to win the pennant in like 27, maybe. Yeah. Right. That's the schedule that I think in my head is like, and last year, call it what it was. Last year was a mirage. Last year was lightning in a bottle. Last year was overachieving, and that warped everybody's sense of where they are as a franchise.
Well, when you look at this and the guys that you mentioned, I would look at this and say Hoskins and Peralta are off limits. You can't get rid of your number one. I mean, and he just has not been injured either. That's the amazing thing. Not just how he's pitching, but he has not been injured, which is rare.
So reliable.
Reliable. You can count on him every 5 days.
But the thing is, you could get a lot for him because he's got such a friendly contract. I think he's got like 2 team options left.
Then why get rid of him? And that's then the other, I would never dump my number one. The other one is Rhys Hoskins is finally becoming the Rhys Hoskins you wanted when you went out and signed him as a free agent. So let him do what
Yeah,
you want him
and
to
then
do
you
for
have
your
him,
team.
And then after this year, do
Right?
you keep him or do you let
Well,
him walk?
I
Or
mean,
see, he's in a walk year, right? So,
I mean, let's take a, you know,
so yeah, it's again, it's
I'm
too
not-
early for those conversations, buying and selling, because no one's
Okay.
buying. Even people who think they're buying aren't really buying yet.
Think
It doesn't
about-
heat up for another month or so.
think about being okay. I mean, we've been pretty consistent over the last 10 years. Think about if you're an Orioles fan. The Orioles sucked like a shop vac for how many years?
Yeah.
Then they all of a sudden got a little momentum, pushed all in.
They have some good young players. They
Pushed all in, and
they're-
it didn't work. And
Yeah.
now they suck like a shop vac. I tell you what, I'll take the 10 years we've just had versus that.
Oh,
don't
for
don't
sure.
get my
Orioles-
hopes up and stop on them.
Orioles, by the way, this is the old test that the Brewers faced a team. What were the Twins when they came in? They had won 11 in a row.
Yeah.
The Orioles have lost 6 in a row.
Mhm.
And last week they fired their manager, and they got no bounce out of firing the manager, which a lot of teams do. So the Orioles come in. Are they dangerous? Well, we'll find out this week as the Brewers play 3 against the Orioles and then go to Pittsburgh for 4. This is a week where the Brewers have to play well. If you don't have a winning record this week,
Yeah.
it further cements my feeling of the season and the way it's going to go,
Not
because
good.
the schedule doesn't get any easier. They're going to play Boston, and they got Philly looming on the schedule. They got some tough teams coming. They're all tough teams, right? When you're playing like the Brewers are.
They're all professionals, Drew. We know that. They're all
tough.
professional players.
And what class are the Brewers in? You know, where in what strata do you lump them? Are they as good as like the Padres or the Phillies? Like that's why to me it's like you're either winning the division or you're not making the playoffs.
Well,
and
yeah,
the
because
division doesn't
the
look,
West is too.
the division
way
looks
too
like
strong.
it's going to be rough to
Right.
unseat the Cubs right now.
But the Cubs can always spit it up too, which would be so joyous.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
And
But
you know
but the same way the Brewers overachieved last year, the Cubs underachieved, and now they've gotten better, and they've got Kyle Tucker, and they got some
so,
dudes.
I mean, that's fine.
Even losing their ace, they're still going to hum along and probably win the division.
Yeah, I mean, I just ignore Cubs fans.
Good, that's a good
You
call
know.
on your part.
I'm just, I don't care. I don't go out to the games. They're obnoxious as hell. If you want to come in and act like a total, prong, hey, knock yourself out, but you're not affecting me at all.
So, what were the Twins? The Twins were like 13-20, and they went on a heater. And they
Mhm.
won 13 in a row before yesterday. Could the Brewers do that?
Yeah,
In theory-
anytime you can.
In theory, they could, I guess, right?
Sure.
Um,
Anything can happen.
I'll eat the George Webb burger.
Yeah, I have
They
no,
win 13 in a row. I'll go to George Webb and get a burger.
I don't think,
But I'm not blocking out my schedule
As I
looking to
said-
see when it's going to happen.
as I said, I don't think they're that. I don't think they're.
No, they're not the
there's-
Rockies. They're not the White Sox.
They're not as
the
bad as you
Orioles.
think they are, and there's not as good as you want them to be. But I mean, I don't think that they're. I don't think there's not an opportunity for them to get hot and
Yeah,
go on a couple
but
of hot
And there's
streaks.
an
And
opportunity
it's.
to get better. And again,
I just think it's a concentration thing.
if this is a gap year, kind of like the Bucks are going to have if they keep Giannis next year. If this is a gap year, you can do things in the gap year. You can find out what guys are made of, find out which guys you want to move forward with, tinker a little bit, gives you a chance. Maybe find out what's going on with the left side of the infield, perhaps. Anyway, 877-794-1973. Let's have your game balls and kicks to the balls, because that's what we do on Mondays with Drew and KB. And Sean in Oconomowoc hits us up. Game ball to Nick Mears.
Get that skunk out.
And Nick Mears has been really good. He's been a really good pitcher, and he was he owes Churro steak dinner for yesterday.
Mhm.
But he has been really good. Hunter, is it safe to say he's been their best reliever? Nick Mears. I mean,
Yeah.
you're our guy with your finger on the pulse.
ERA is at 0.51. In 19 games, opponents are hitting 107 against him. I mean, he has been just dynamite. He's been really good with inherited runners too. If the Brewers are in a jam, he's kind of now been the one to come in with runners
Yeah.
on base, and he's gotten out of
That
it more
was-
times than not.
That was a little weird yesterday that he came in with a clean inning. 'Cause
Right.
It seems like he's always getting the call when there's guys on second and third.
Yeah, and that was a trade deadline acquisition last year. That's a guy they got with a little bit of control, and
Kudos to the scouting
Mhm.
department. Sean in Oconomowoc has that one, and he had kicked to the balls, the entire left side of the Brewers infield on offense.
When you're lower than whale poop,
Yeah, they just haven't gotten much out of short and third. You knew that was a possibility with Adames with leaving that void. But we've talked about that. I'm glad the Brewers didn't give Willie Adames $180 million. I don't think that would have been the right call. Given their circumstances. If money was no object, sure, give it to him. No problem. But I don't think that was the right call. Game balls and kicks the balls don't have to be local. They can be about anything, and they don't have to be about sports. KB can give, the lawn gods.
Well, I'm going to get, okay, we'll do that. I'm going to give a game ball to our friend Patrick Nettesheim for putting on a good 21-gun salute on Saturday. It was fun to go out there and play.
Get that skunk out.
With Kimmy from
did
the
they
Whiskey
have
Bells.
action outside? Were they playing
Outside and inside?
Inside and outside.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it was
The
pretty cool.
storefront, if you haven't been to the store yet, Music Success at Moreland and National, right by Burghart's. It's right in that development there where the anchors are Burghart's on one side and Pick and Save on the other.
Mm-hmm.
So
And,
it's a good store. And if you're going to go buy a cheap guitar, you just want to go hang out and look at some gear and
Good starter
watch some
guitar and
TV and
stuff.
sit on the
It was-
couch. And yeah, absolutely. And they take donations. If you want to
Yes,
donate
they
any
do.
used instruments that you got laying around, look up our guy Patrick.
And okay, now I'm going to move it over to sports. I'm going to give and then I've only had one kick to the balls for the Brewers, and then I'm going to move on. So it's a quick one. I'm going to give them a kick to the balls for losing on cribbage board night.
When you're
The
lower than
shattering-
whale poop,
I mean, come on, everyone.
Shattering dreams?
Yeah, everyone went in high, just high
Yeah.
hopes and everything in a cribbage board, and then boom.
Hunter, what was the scene like? I saw you posted the picture. I'm sure that they did say, and Marty Ronsky was on with us saying, get there early, 20,000 out of they had a 40,000. That was their second sellout of the year,
And it was
and I'm sure there are a lot of people that but a lot of people were there hard down early in line. Haven't seen anything like that since the Giannis jersey giveaway. That was
Yes.
that was the biggest
Yeah.
and most
There's
recent.
been some
Yeah,
other
but
ones.
there's been
but
some
not-
other ones that have been pretty good.
but not this much.
No.
That was, the
This
lines
is just
were-
crazy. A
lines
cribbage
were-
board.
Yeah, and it was like 3:00, and the game started at 6:15.
I
and
love
there were-
it. I think it's
long
cool as hell,
lines.
but I never would have called that shot.
They're $50
No.
on eBay right now if you really, really, really want to have one.
Right. But no, it was electric.
They should
Those-
just, you know what? They should just order them and put them in the team store. Get some and
Yeah.
put them in the team store.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure. I mean, it's a promotional item, so I'm sure the backdoor cost on that is not that much, and you could sell them pretty cheaply.
You look at the crowd. Yeah, the crowd was, a lot of them were in their seats because they all came early to get the cribbage board. So ready to rock and roll. And the third pitch of the game, a home run for the Twins. And then it was like, oh, here we go.
Thankfully, they didn't use them as frisbees.
was a
Yes,
long night.
Correct.
It was a long
Um,
night. I saw some of it on the television, and I saw Jeff Levering yesterday in the press box, and I said he and Adam Wainwright did a pretty good job. They didn't have much to talk about, but it was especially good, and I knew it would be because Wainwright revered Euchre, and when he was with the last time around, he came up in uniform and spent a couple innings in the booth with you,
Yeah.
and that was so he had some good stories. And I knew that would be gold,
Mhm.
and that was probably the high point of the broadcast because the rest of the game was not, unless
Not
you're a
that
Twins
good.
fan, wasn't that great
No.
to watch.
And I've got some more that I'll hit you with
Oh,
when
we got a
come back
bunch.
after
We got
break.
the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs. We had a major golf tournament to go through.
Mhm.
We have our local hockey club in good business right
Tying
now.
things up in their
Heading
series.
into a big week of puck locally. We got all kinds of stuff to cover, all kinds of ground to cover here on the program. It is Game Balls and Kicks to the Balls Monday, and you are listening to Drew and KB statewide on the game. Tired all the time? Do you experience low energy, bad sleep, stubborn weight gain, mental fog? It's not just aging, it could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, the mission is to help men take back their strength, confidence, and performance. Drew Olson here. For generations, men's health has been a taboo subject. We're guys. We only go to the doctor or clinic if bones are broken or a wound won't stop bleeding. Game Day Men's Health is going to change that outlook. With fast, free T-level testing, you'll know in minutes if low T is the problem. And if it is, the doctor-supervised testosterone therapy gets you back to feeling your best. No waiting rooms, no long appointments, just real results. But they don't stop there. At Game Day Men's Health, they also offer medical weight loss to help shed stubborn fat, ED treatments for performance and confidence, peptide therapy for muscle growth, recovery, and anti-aging. Get back in the game and take back your energy, your strength, and your edge with Game Day Men's Health. Book your free consultation today at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. 4 area locations, GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Your Milwaukee Admirals quest for the Calder Cup continues Wednesday and Friday at 7 o'clock, presented by Landmark Credit Union. Don't miss the excitement of the division final.
Before it's sold out.
Drew and KB from the Iron Jock Studio on this Monday in the Goodland. Game balls and kicks to the balls. 877-794-1973. Get you in. It's inventory count week at Iron Jock World Headquarters, and you can help. The more gear you buy, the less they have to inventory. Makes sense, doesn't it? Do them a solid. Paulie Hansen does. He named our studio. He gives you deals every month. Now through Sunday, you can buy $65 or more of Iron Jock. Use the promo code INVENTORY30, and you'll save 30% off your entire order. Plus, they'll throw in one of those cool string backpacks for free. IronJOC.com. Inventory30 is the code. Game balls and kicks the balls Monday. We are rolling through, taking your thoughts about the state of the Brewers. We just got to kick to the balls to anybody who's selling a cribbage board on eBay. Hey, that's capitalism, man. People want it.
Oh, they do it all the time. I mean, there are people that go to the game, they buy the ticket, they walk in and they get the item and then turn around and
Oh,
leave.
there are plenty of people that do that. Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Bobblehead days, they do
Why
that.
would you do that? I mean, you got a baseball game there.
I guess
right?
you could raise the question, why not have every giveaway be an all fan giveaway? But that cuts into margins and stuff like that. And like, I don't think the Brewers realized how popular this item was going to be.
Oh, I guarantee you they didn't.
They didn't really. They thought it was
Even
kinda
when we talked
kitschy.
when we talked to Marty Ronsky, we said, man, her she was even slightly,
Mhm.
because I remember saying this cribbage board thing is kind of spun out of control. And she said, right.
Oh, yeah.
So they weren't really expecting it. But you know what? Good on them.
It made,
Right?
It was a great home run giveaway. and
Absolutely.
scarcity makes it. And so people who, I had to get there early. And if you got one, great. If you didn't, better luck next time, or buy one on eBay. Greg in Bayview regarding the crowd on Saturday night when it was, I think it was the Brewers' second sellout of the season.
Correct.
He said, I went to the game yesterday on Sunday, and the guy selling 50-50 raffle tickets said Saturday night's jackpot was the biggest ever for a non-opening day regular season game.
Wow.
And Cato didn't win.
I'd love to win a 50-50.
How good would that be?
And this is one where I wouldn't.
Do you have
donate
to
it
be
back.
present to win
Mhm.
that? Do you have to be, or I think you can be.
Yeah, I think you
I
do.
think so, because
I think you have to
guest
go take your
services.
ticket to guest
Yeah,
services.
but they don't. It's not like they pick another number, right? So if you take it to, if
Oh.
you reach out to the Brewers, I'll have to ask Marty that next time she pops by
Mhm.
our lounge, because I'm wondering about that. I was watching a podcast of a national show, and there were guys like, we were talking about conspiracy theories yesterday. They're like, conspiracy theory, no one's ever won a 50-50 raffle. That's not true. I know two people have won 50-50 raffles at the ballpark. My nephew Ross
Yes.
and Cato Kalin.
Mm-hmm.
And they both won pretty good chunk of change, because there
Yes.
was pretty big crowds that day. So Greg, thank you for that update.
Ben
Appreciate
the
it.
Builder. Someone took my son's cribbage board when he went for snacks.
Oh, that's weak sauce.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it looks like someone's leaving and they leave it, like if it's like seventh inning, it's a blowout game, we're going to head for the exits and go to the bar. And then you scoop it up and then they come back for it. Okay.
boy.
But if
It's a kid.
went to snacks,
It's a kid went to get some cotton candy or something like
Ah.
that, or
Disgust me. How can you live with yourself?
that's just
That's
awful.
exactly right. I mean, maybe some of those hot, sweet smelling nuts that you can smell from everywhere when you go in. Smell of candied nuts.
Yeah.
Well, you could get a KB because it's not November.
Mm-hmm. It went and got some nice candy.
Sushi said the Brewers redraw it if no one claims it by the end of the 6th.
Okay.
I don't ever remember.
They
I don't either.
redraw?
I've never seen a redraw on the scoreboard or
Never.
anything.
I don't
No.
think.
I don't know, Sushi. You might have bad information there.
I mean, because they don't really take information and then contact a second winner.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
I've not seen that, because I think you have till the end of the game to claim. Well, I don't know. You might even have longer than that. I don't know if there is a statute of limitations.
Here we go. If newbie Natalie says, if you don't get your 55th raffle in time, get there, they will pick another number.
I thought they just rolled it over to the next jackpot to the next days or something.
Pick another number. So then
I've never seen it. Like maybe
people just always clean them.
I don't know, man. Especially when people are lubed up. Because again, Saturday was a game when people got there early because they wanted that damn cribbage board. And then in order to get in line, it's not like they allow pass outs. And by pass outs, I mean leave and come back, re-entry. So people were, Hunter, you probably noticed it. Like it was a bigger buzz and more people at BP than normal.
Oh, for sure. Because they were all
They're
in
all
there.
getting their cribbage boards. So they're all, what's there to do while you watch guys, and I hope there was like a full on BP to watch, right? Because I know on Sundays, a lot of times it's
Yeah, the
Hitting the
Twins were
cage.
probably, by the time fans got in there, the Twins were on the field.
So
but
Twins
the
were on
other
the
guy that was on the field was Ryan Braun, because he was in for the game and he was signing cribbage boards along the
oh yeah.
like behind home plate.
He was
So
signing cribbage boards.
He was.
Yeah.
It was pretty fantastic.
A lot of people were, I saw that all over
Here we go.
social.
Mhm.
Braun and a bunch of guys. I randomly ran in to the Clipper Jeff Jenkins on the street. I was walking down the street on Saturday. I ran into Jeff Jenkins. Like, what are you doing in town? Oh, I'm in for this card show. There was a monster card show at the Baird Center over the weekend, and I didn't really hear much about it, but I'd heard of it. But they had like Braun, like a whole bunch of current Brewers went during the day. Murph went and Churio and like a bunch of guys. And then they had like, Rowley and Molitor, Yount, Marcus Johnson, Gilbert Brown, Leroy Butler, our friend, the Hall of Famer. So there was a pretty big, significant card show in downtown Milwaukee all weekend. And so that's why a lot of those guys were in town for.
Okay, we are getting varied responses on this, and we're going to need an official clarification. Jake and Waukesha says they definitely draw another number. Danny in the 262 says you have 90 days to claim. Okay, Joe in Hartford said no one claims it to the end of the game. It gets rolled over. So we got 3 different versions here. Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen another number announced. Like, so they do one to me.
Here we go. Someone didn't claim the 50-50 from the playoff loss last year. They rolled it over to the home opener, and that's why it was nearly 100,000.
Okay. There you
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. 877-794-1973. This is something we can work on. We know people. We'll ask. We'll that's what we do. We ask the questions.
We ask questions. When we don't know answers, we ask questions. We don't just guess.
Eric from Plymouth went to Saturday's game, saw one guy go through the gate, get the cribbage boards. He had 6 and then walk back out.
He probably bought 6 tickets.
6 tickets to get 6 cribbage boards.
That's such a douchey move.
It really is. I mean, I don't know. That's worse than in the heat of the moment, guys knocking over women and children to get a foul ball off.
That's right.
That's like, come on.
I'm going to give a game ball right now. I'm going to give a game ball to someone on the text line. I am going to give a game ball to Sheila in Milwaukee.
Get that skunk out.
For being a good parent. She says, game ball to my son who did not take the cribbage board because his girlfriend had gotten one and they could share. And he left his cribbage board for somebody else instead of hoarding it.
Well, that's a good move.
That's nice parenting. And good on your son, too, for doing that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Who gets it in the divorce? That's the thing, is I'm sure that this is going to be contested in many separations in courts of law.
I have the official rules here from the MLB.com for the claiming of the prize for the raffle drawing.
All right.
It says that a participant in possession of the raffle ticket with the potential winning number may claim the prize at the 50-50 table located on the loge level concourse behind sections blah, 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 until such time as the ballpark officially closes to fans after the end of the game.
Okay.
If the participant in possession of the raffle ticket with the potential winning number does not claim the prize by the time the ballpark closes to fans after the end of the game, the participant may still claim the prize within 30 days after the conclusion of the raffle period.
Well, then how do they roll it over?
By calling the raffle hotline. A prize that's not claimed within 30 days after the conclusion of the raffle period will be awarded in compliance with applicable regulations.
Legal jargon.
So,
well, I know
it. Well,
I know it rolled over from the last game, the Mets game. No one claimed it, and then they had all off season. No one claimed it, and then they rolled it into opening.
Okay,
day.
well, that would have been your 30 days.
Yeah, that's a rollover.
So, if no one gets it on July 19th, it doesn't roll to July 20th.
It does not seem it does. No.
And then if it's not claimed in 30. Then does it go directly to the foundation?
Maybe.
David and Racine, I've been a season seat holder. I've seen it redrawn. Well, apparently not according to their rules, because if you have until the end of the game, they don't do a redrawing. Because like that, there's just no way.
Right.
Yeah. And I had never seen them post a second number, because
neither have I.
Maybe, and I've done a lot of auctions for charity, and like if the guy's not there, you once, twice, gone, next number.
I mean, I understand
that stuff.
I understand, like golf outings and stuff like that. If let's say you go to a golf outing and then you get the raffle tickets and you buy a whole, the wingspan type deal, right? And then you have to leave. It's usually nothing so huge, and you always flip your tickets to someone else. Hey, take a look at these if I win, right? But I would be waiting till the very end of. I've never bought a 50-50 at a Brewers game. Maybe I should start doing that.
It's funny. My wife doesn't like gambling anywhere near as much as I do, but she's into that. She'll buy 50-50.
She'll buy 50.
she'll
Well,
peel
it
'em
goes
off.
to a good, it goes to a good cause too. So you've got to figure you're not going to win. So you're making a nice donation to the foundation.
Yeah. And you take your chances. It's part of the entertainment, I guess. Dave and Sheboygan said they stopped redrawing last year. Well, again,
Dave.
we have, okay.
Oh my.
Well, let Dave.
Well, he might be right. I mean,
He could be right. We don't know.
Pay, for those of us in the press box, there are other things going on that we pay attention to.
Right.
Here we go. We got it.
Different game.
The Brewers no longer redraw 50-50. The winner does, so they used to. Thanks, Dave.
I just don't remember it.
Hmm.
Because again, if you have until the end of
Right.
till the ballpark closes, how do you redraw? The ballpark's closed.
Right.
Like,
You can't.
so
you
they
can't-
must have changed that policy. What, you had to do it by the end of the inning?
I
Because
thought you had to do it
what
by
if
the end
you're
of the
infirm?
7th or
Me
8th
too,
inning.
but now it says ball. You know what? I bet they did. I bet that all changed at the same time where they went, we're not going to redraw. We're just going to say until the end of the game.
Mhm.
Because they used to say by the end of the 7th inning or whatever.
Holy cow. Joel in Wanakee says, I have a friend who won the 50-50 raffle twice in the same season.
dang, that's a
The thing is, there's too much money on the line with that 50-50 out there. I mean, it's thousands of dollars,
yeah.
right?
oh yeah.
You do a 50-50 at a golf outing and you win it, and it's almost like you almost have to give it back
Pretty
to
Oh,
the
yeah,
foundation
yeah.
because
Yeah.
everyone is all over you. You give it back, give it back. And then when you do end up keeping it, you look like a total prong.
It's like catching a foul ball and not giving it to a kid.
Let's say the team was the Rockies and I had my own section pretty much,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I got a foul ball, I would walk over 2 sections to find a kid to give it to
Mhm.
before I'd walk out with it.
And here's the thing for the Brewers, it's diminishing returns. Maybe this is why they changed the policy, because how many people, when they see that their number wasn't the number for the 50-50, just tear up their tickets.
Gone.
Yeah.
True.
That's one thing that keeps people, and it's different now that the games are quicker, because there's a lot of, when the Brewers were really bad, it's like, oh, let's stay till the sausage race and we'll bail out here, we'll dip, right? Or what else is there? 50-50, the sausage race, perhaps maybe one more Yelich at bat, or your favorite players at bat. Cubs.
Yep.
With the Cubs, when they were bad for years, it was like after Harry sings, we're out of here.
Right.
You need those little benchmarks, right? After we zing boom Torero, people might dip out.
I don't even know what a Torero is.
I don't know what a Torero is either, but I hear it all the time.
It must
I don't
be
know how to
exciting if
zing.
it comes back. If it comes after a zing and a boom.
Hunter doesn't know how to zing. I've never zinged and boomed, much less Torero. 877-794-1973. We're having some fun in the Iron Jock Studios. We've got some tickets for you. It's not really tickets. It's wristbands to go to the Harley-Davidson Homecoming Festival featuring Chris Stapleton. That is going to be a lot of fun. June 10th through the 13th. Stay tuned for a giveaway on those. We're also, we have this appointment between 419 and 421. That's a lot of fun. I don't know where else you'd rather be. Hang out with us. It's Monday. It's Drew and KB statewide on the game.
Brother man, you ever get the Sunday scaries?
Sunday scaries.
Yeah, you stay up half the night on Sunday because you're worried about the upcoming week.
I used to, but not anymore. Not now that I found Happy Place Hemp Delta 8 gummies. I take one about an hour before bedtime and I sleep like a baby. But I'm not the only one. One smart, good-looking listener texted us and said they started taking the gummies for their anxiety. Now they're more relaxed. They get a good night's sleep. No more tossing and turning.
And now listeners can go to happyplacehemp.com, use the promo code DrewKB, and get 25% off their order. Can't beat that with a stick.
HappyPlaceHemp.com, promo code DrewKB.
KB here for Pep's Draft House Pizza, the official pizza of the Timeout Sports Lounge and the Drew and KB Show. It's that time of year when there's nothing quite like a warm house and a hot pizza. Pour your favorite beer, live your best frozen pizza life with big toppings and an even bigger taste. When I have a hankering for pizza and beer, I turn my house into a draft house with Pep's Draft House Pizza. The taproom double, well, that's my go-to. Double sausage, double pepperoni. I have nice amber beer with it. Man, it is the best. Next time you want pizza, take it to the house with Pep's Draft House Pizza.
They say seeing is believing. And when you check out what's waiting for you at American Place Casino, you'll definitely believe you'll love it. From thrilling gaming to top-notch service, we're changing the game. Come play all your favorites like blackjack, craps, roulette, and the latest slots. Catch a game at the sportsbook, enjoy great restaurants, bars, and more. If you're ready for excitement, exceptional service, and an experience you'll never forget, then we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
Calling all Costco members and deal lovers. Ready to elevate your odor fighting game? Find Old Spice Swagger deodorant at Costco and unleash 24/7 freshness when used daily. Old Spice Swagger isn't just any deodorant, it's the #1 aluminum-free deodorant brand, providing long-lasting scent and 24/7 odor protection when used daily. You'll smell so good, you might just attract a fan club. Don't wait! Grab your 4-pack of Swagger deodorant at Costco now, because freshness is mandatory.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
As down payments get bigger, millions of renters across America feel like they'll never be able to buy a home. So instead of lowering expectations, Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with OnePlus, helping more renters become owners. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Cloudy skies today with sprinkles at times and temperatures in the 40s to mid-50s, coolest near the lake. Steady soaking rain expected Tuesday, plus windy and cool. Rain showers end later Wednesday, then sunny the rest of the week. I'm Fox 6 meteorologist Stephanie Barrichello.
This report is sponsored by Club Car Wash and ClubCarWash.com.
Your car's filthy, but not for long. Club Car Wash is opening soon in Sussex on Executive Drive across from Meyer on Lisbon. Get ready to take advantage of limited time specials with proceeds benefiting Big Brothers Big Sisters. Go to clubcarwash.com for more.
Join the club. They're not really bad. They're just stupid.
You. What is wrong with people? Dave and Butch, weekday mornings after 6 on The Game.
Drew and KB cruising through at Game Balls and Kicks of the Balls Monday in the good land. If your energy is lagging, you find yourself, going 10 rounds with the snooze button every morning. If you're just chugging coffee or energy drinks to get through the day, no energy to work out, be yourself. You want to recapture some of that youthful energy, you might have to see my friends at Game Day Men's Health. That's right. No more running on fumes. You might have low T. It might be a hormonal issue easily cured by treatment from Game Day Men's Health. You can sign up for a quick, free T-level test. You can go in and be there in and out in a half hour for the first visit. And if you decide that treatment is right for you, if they put you on a program, you can do it. You can do it. Administer it yourself at home or go visit them on a weekly basis and in and out in less than 5 minutes. Don't spend another night glued to the couch wishing that you had energy to do something. Get back your energy. Get back your mojo. Get back in the game with Game Day Men's Health. Check them out at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. We're getting good responses, robust replies here on the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line 877-794-1973 regarding Brewers, their current status, game balls and kicks of the balls. I believe, and I can't believe I have to do it, I believe Scotty Scheffler's in line for a game ball today.
He was on one of mine.
I mean, just won a major. That dude is he's a machine. He's one of those guys that when he's on, he's unflappable, and when he's not on, he's still pretty good. Is it wrong, KB, that I'm rooting for him to have a foil, like him and Rory can be our Arnie and Jack or our Borg and McEnroe kind of thing. I want them to go back and forth and have a duel. And we haven't had that for a while.
Well, I mean, you had it for a little bit, and then John Rahm kind of he yacked it up. And
I'm not talking about in a tournament. I mean, in general, like every major, it's going to be like either Rory or I'm Team Rory or I'm Team Scotty.
Yeah,
like that
it's
way.
it was Tiger against the world for the longest time.
Forever, but it was like Jack and Arnie.
Yeah, you know what? There really hasn't. I'm trying to think of
Borg and McEnroe. Like I like to have two guys that go back and forth that give you something to watch all the time. I'm trying Rory
to think.
won the Masters, and now Scotty Scheffler won the PGA. So
I don't think there is that.
Are they trading majors?
You know what? And I'm trying to think if there is one of those, or there's been one since in quite a while, because it was Tiger against the world pretty much before. And then no one has really grabbed the reins. While there are people who have been very, very good, right, and new world number ones, there hasn't been that 1-2. There hasn't been that 1 versus 2 thing, and I'm trying to think of who it might be.
I'm just Scheffler is good, but when they're winning in a vacuum, it's boring. They need a foil.
Well, right? They do, and Scotty is pretty damn strong. I mean, no one is catching him right now. Really, he'd be
really good. And
the other thing is that Bryson kind of fell off the face of the earth. He was making a run, and then he kind of dropped back. But if anyone has noticed, even in the majors, the live guys, although Rahm is a live guy, are not performing as historically good as they had on the tour. So they took the money in the competition.
Soft.
Yeah, I think they have. They took the money, and they're not
the way through.
They don't have to grind the way. They don't have to grind, and I think it's hurt some guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where have you seen Brooks? He was built for majors.
Indeed. We will continue to take your game balls and kicks the balls. They can be about anything, folks. Sports and stuff. We actually lean into this stuff. Stay tuned for your chance to win wristbands to the Harley-Davidson Homecoming. Some good shows. Got Hank Jr., you got Chris Stapleton, Turnpike Troubadour. It's going to be fun. We will have those for you as we move forward. You got Drew and KB statewide on the game.
The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
This sports update is brought to you by American Place Casino. Nonstop excitement just over the Wisconsin border in Lake County, Illinois. I'm Dave Gasper. The Milwaukee Brewers welcome the Baltimore Orioles to American Family Field for a 3-game series beginning tonight. The Orioles are in last place in the AL East and fired manager Brandon Hyde over the weekend. The Orioles will have Dean Kramer on the mound, while Quinn Priester will be making the start tonight for the Brewers. First pitch is at 6:40 p.m. And after the last pitch, make the switch to the baseball postgame show with Tim Allen right here on 97.3 The Game. The conference finals in the NBA are now set. The Thunder and Timberwolves will face off in the Western Conference with Game 1 set for Tuesday night, while the Pacers and Knicks battle each other in the Eastern Conference with Game 1 on Wednesday. I'm Dave Gasper on Milwaukee's most listened to sports station, 97.3 The Game.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Southbound on 43 at 9th Street, you got an accident blocking the left lane. Already some construction in the area. 94 eastbound police activity on the exit ramp to 68th and 70th. Stay on the left side. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is already hiring for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to ExpressPros.com to find your location. That's ExpressPros.com.
Preset. Save.
We're already a preset in your car, I assume.
Preset number 1, never a doubt.
Well, we've taken that concept of you pledging your undying loyalty to us.
I demand absolute allegiance, no exception.
And we've brought it to the iHeartRadio app.
Simply click the button labeled Preset.
From that point forward,
our station gets anchored to the top of your app. 97.3 The Game. Added.
Milwaukee's home for sports and stuff. On air at 97.3 FM. Streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
Another morning, another battle with the snooze button. You drag through your day, chugging coffee and energy drinks just to function, and by 4 o'clock, you're crashing hard. Workouts skipped. Family time, you're just too tired. Drew Wilson here to tell you that the hours between 6 and 10 o'clock at night should be yours to work out, play with the kids, and live your life, not just survive it. If low energy, bad sleep, and afternoon slumps are slowing you down, it's time to check your testosterone. As men get older, testosterone levels naturally decline. You might not notice it at first or even feel a difference at all, but it can impact your performance in the conference room at work, the weight room at the gym, and even the bedroom. When people ask, how are you doing? And you reply, fine, I guess. You need to set up an appointment with Game Day Men's Health and change that answer to awesome. At Game Day Men's Health, they make it simple. Fast T-level testing, effective in-office treatments. With multiple area locations, there's probably one near you. No waiting, no hassle, just real results. Don't waste another night on the couch. Take back your life with Game Day Men's Health. Book your free T-level test today at GameDayMen'sHealth.com and get back in the game.
I can see the breath inside my house. This is how horror movies start.
First, the cold seeps in. Next thing you know, you're spooning your cat for warmth.
I tried it. He bit me.
Jason, come on, man. You need a new furnace. Don't you know that Capital is giving away the furnace when you get a new AC?
Giving as in free?
Yeah, but call Capital before this turns into the horror version of Frozen. Call Capital today and get a free furnace with a new AC.
Old-fashioned service, you can't go wrong. Call CapitalCares.com.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint or stain project, saving is at the top of your to-do list. Save now with buy one, get one half off select paints, stains, and primers from top brands like Valspar, HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, and Cabot via Visa gift card rebate. Find more Memorial Day deals now at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 5/15 through 5/28.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela. Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guys in the know and price is so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
WRNW Milwaukee, available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. 97.3 The Game, an iHeartRadio station.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are #1. We just grabbed every key demographic. Yeah.
Live from the Iron Jock Studios and brought to you by Bryant and Stratton Athletics. It's the fastest growing sports and stuff show in the Midwest, led by two 23rd-year seniors who have no interest in entering the transfer portal. It's Drew and KB.
I've never worked in a studio that had 10 glory holes going all at the same time.
There are two things that separate humans from animals. One, we can control our sexual tendencies. Two, when we eat, we use cutlery.
If I could have everybody's attention, we put together a little song and dance in honor of Drew.
I'm an executive by day and a wild man by night.
We don't care what KB says.
I am a mostly able-bodied, neurodivergent, obsessive-compulsive, chronically ill cat parent in mental health recovery.
Do you like lizards? Do you like snakes? Do you like tortoises? Do you like frogs?
Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is my friend. Jesus is a friend of mine. I have a friend in Jesus.
You're done. You're done. Your mom wears Skechers.
Give me a word, starting with the letter P. Somebody might do to your bottom.
Say penetrate.
I'm a clam guy. Only eat clams. That's all I do.
What the F?
Do you want to start drinking?
Yes.
You know I'm gonna have to go for 420, Bob. Cheez-Its! Cheez-Its! Cheez-Its!
Light this candle.
He's right. Let's light this candle. Light the candle.
It's Monday in the Good Land. You know what that means? Game balls and kicks of the balls on the Drew and KB program. Welcome into the Iron Jock Studios built by Reamer Remodel. My name is Drew Wilson. I am joined by KB.
What's going on, brother man?
Hunter is here with us as well. We're taking game balls and kicks of the balls, having robust conversations on a number of topics because it's kind of low tide right now.
Mm-hmm.
So game balls and kicks is a great Monday exercise on our program. You know how it works. You want to give someone an attaboy, a kudo, little honorarium, little, tip from Petty Cash.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game ball. Kick
Feel
to the
free.
balls will be a performance improvement plan. You need to do better. A refocusing, if you will. We're getting plenty of them, and we'll continue to receive them at 877-794-1973. Also want to tell folks that you can win $1,000 by entering the nationwide keyword on the website, 973thegame.com. The keyword this hour is fun. Oh, wouldn't it be fun to win $1,000 just by entering a word on a website? It'd be easier than, not as exciting as maybe a 50-50 raffle at the ballpark, which we were just talking about in the last hour. If you missed it, where were you? But fun is the keyword this hour at 973thegame.com. Good luck in that nationwide contest. Shall we give a game ball to the Final Four in the National Basketball Association tournament?
Get that skunk out!
Knicks took care of business. They will play the Pacers. And you got, Oklahoma City, which is all the rage. You got to kind of like that. Should we cheer for small markets?
Man, I'm telling you, if the fix is in, if they say the fix is in for the NBA, it ain't going to be Oklahoma City, Indianapolis.
Oklahoma City and the Wolves, I guess in most cases we'd be cheering because of and I don't think anybody has any real animosity towards the Wolves other than their association with Vikings and Vikings fans.
Yeah,
so
probably
you'd be cheering for Oklahoma City, but you can't cheer for Indiana because
we can't cheer for Indiana, so it's got to be Oklahoma City.
Yeah, so Oklahoma City, and you just want whoever's from the West to win. Because can you cheer for the Knicks? The Knicks are not a tired team. There's no Knicks fatigue here.
I'm going to go with the Knicks.
The Knicks haven't won a championship since 1973.
No, I'm going to cheer for the Knicks, not because I want to, but because I can't cheer for Indiana.
Yeah.
They're just thuggish.
Hunter's parents were barely born in 1973.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm going. I want the Knicks and the Wolves to meet. I'd be happy for our friends in Minnesota if they were to experience a title.
But Oklahoma City, that'd be a jolt. It'd be great for them. They got the MVP. They ousted they just rolled the Nuggets. Talk about kick to the balls to the sports gods for giving us a couple of lackluster game sevens over the weekend.
Okay. That gets me to a game ball and a kick to the ball.
All right, sir.
I'm giving the game ball to the Panthers for winning game 7 last night.
Okay.
And I'm going to give a kick to the balls for Toronto for not showing up.
When you're lower than whale poop.
Florida just kicked their asses up the ice. It was unbelievable. It was Florida had a game plan. Toronto didn't. And anytime, Florida just beat the living crap out of them. Anytime there was a puck that they had that was in their offensive zone, that Toronto was going back into the defensive zone or whatever it was, they had two bodies on a guy and they were just pummeling them into the boards. They just beat them senseless. There was a point where it was 5-on-5 and you would have thought, this was in the second period, it was 5-on-5 and you would have thought that Florida was on a power play the way they were rolling it around the outside. Toronto was just all over the place. They were just running like chickens with their heads cut off.
Huge disappointments. Now it's Edmonton or bust.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'd love to see a Canadian team.
Well, I wanted the
Stanley's Cup, and
I was kind of hoping for an Edmonton Leafs series so you could get the Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid matchup. I thought that would be a pretty good storyline.
Yeah. Speaking of the pucks and the frozen ice, your Milwaukee Admirals deserve a game ball.
Get that skunk out.
Admirals winning big. What a weekend for El Jefe. His daughter graduates from college, and the Admirals tie their series with Texas and come home with a head of steam and an advantage in this series. They got the split that they needed, and they will be playing Wednesday night at Panther Arena in Game 3. So kudos to the Milwaukee Admirals, our buddy Aaron Sims, Harris Turr, Wojo, Hojo, the rest of the crew over there, Nick, everybody that takes good care of us when we go and just brings a lot of fun to our local sports scene. So we love us some Admirals hockey, and we love going to the rink in shorts. Hopefully they can keep this going for a while longer. That'd be epic. Let's keep them coming. 877-794-1973. Game balls and kicks. Do we need I'm a man in deep conflict. Is this worthy of a game ball or a kick? The latest sports controversy comes from KB's favorite league, the WNBA.
Oh, dear God.
Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese go at it again, and everybody's losing their bleep about it. Angel Reese pushes someone, and then gets hacked by Caitlin Clark, and they're calling it a flagrant, and the world is up in arms. We were just talking about
why?
We were just talking about how the rivals, how I'm cheering in golf for Scottie Scheffler and Rory to kind of become like the top two guys and let it go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like it or not, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are becoming that on the women's side for the WNBA, and it's not bad for business. We're old enough to remember when Bird and Magic propelled the NBA from like the brink of extinction, basically, when their games were still a tape delayed in the finals to the monster that it is today. So I think it's good for business, but a lot of people are freaking out about it.
Well, people are freaking out over the fact it was a flagrant foul, okay? And that there was a little dust up. So let me ask you this.
Foul.
Huh?
It wasn't that bad a foul.
Well, that was going to be my point.
Yeah.
Okay. All of a sudden, I want to know why it's a flagrant foul. I want someone out there to rationally tell me why it gets this much press, because there are bigger stars in the NBA that have flagrant fouls and it doesn't get this much burn. So I want someone to tell me why this one is different.
Yeah, I would love that. We probably have some WNBA fans.
But I want to know why it should get all this attention.
Well,
because they're girls. It's pretty sexist.
Well, they have this rivalry that goes back to their college days, much like Bird and Magic did. They're the
I
Bird
know
and
they
Magic
do,
of the WNBA. They
Sure they
played
are.
against each other in college. They don't like each other. Their teams are,
I get it, but I totally get it. But I'm saying but there are people that go at each other in sports in the NBA all the time and get flagrant fouls. Why is this one all of a sudden front page news above the fold?
Because they're the marquee players in the league. Again, I get it. I think it was an overblown controversy. I didn't have an issue with the foul at all.
No, it
hard
wasn't
foul, but it was,
because I've got my own theory. I want to see what the people out there, smart and good looking listeners say.
Keep them coming on that front. I also am interested to hear from anybody who attended the big sports card gathering over the weekend in Milwaukee. They had quite the star-studded attraction. If you're into autographs and stuff, a lot of guys. I mean, if you didn't get Ryan Braun to sign your cribbage board at the ballpark on Saturday, well, he was available to sign at the card show, along with several current Brewers. I don't know that I didn't see Jordan Love's name on there, but they had I saw a lot of former Packers players were on the roster, Marcus Johnson as well. So I'm wondering if anybody went to that, if they could give us a review of whether they felt they got their money's worth, because I've long thought that there's always been a huge sports card show where they get national guys at McCormick Place down in Chicago. And that's been an annual thing. I've always wondered why Milwaukee doesn't have one of those, or have one that moves from Milwaukee to Madison to Green Bay and have an annual event in our area. I've always wondered why that was. Now, again, I'm not a collector, and I would not go, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't support the idea of having the event.
Oh no, I mean, I would.
It's like the symphony. I want our city to have a world-class symphony. I'm not going to go, but but I can support the idea of it, right?
Oh God, I remember. I remember. It's funny you said symphony. I remember I got in so much trouble when I was on the morning show because I made a comment that because we were running down a list of best cities to live in, and we were talking about the criteria, and one of them had to have a robust arts program. And I made the comment, I said, there are a lot of great cities you can live in that don't have fine arts, and it doesn't ruin their quality of life. And my God, people went nuts on me. Like all the people from all the theater people are coming out. How can you say that the quality of life is as good? I'm saying, hey, you go up to Mattoon, Wisconsin, they don't have a symphony. People up there seem to like it. Some of them seem to have a good life, right?
All right. The NicolaLaw.com talking text line's buzzing. 877-794-1973. Joe from Stoughton. I think people are naive if they don't believe that there is a small racial element to the Caitlin Clark against Angel Reese feud.
That's not my take, but
not your take. Mike on the talking text line. It's great publicity and hype for the WNBA. Gets people talking about the league. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not bad for business having two players that came out at the same time, have a built-in rivalry from Angel Reese with her demonstrative at the end of the NCAA championship game when she went up with a ring finger. And then, Caitlin Clark was, of course, she had a run as America's sweetheart. And now she's, she walked in as the face of the league. And she was catching strays from established players in the league who were kind of jealous of that. It's a little bit like Tiger, right? When Tiger emerged, like some of the established guys, like, oh, everything's about him. Yeah, he's sucking a lot of the oxygen, but he's also creating a lot of the money. And so the rising tide, right? So I think a lot of players who initially grumbled about all the attention Tiger got when he was bursting on the scene, then they realized, oh, we're making more for tournament. There's more people here. There's higher ratings. It was good for everybody. And that's kind of what Caitlin Clark has been. And I think it's perfect. Her and Angel Reese, let them be the Bird and Magic. Let them go at it for 10 years and let them make it heated. Bird and Magic didn't like each other for the first 10 years they competed, right? Lean into it, I say. That's good for business. Keep them coming. 877-794-1973. From the 414 burner phone, please identify yourself so we can put your name on there instead of just calling you a burner phone. Hate to say it, but Reese versus Clark has turned into a media classic race baiting for engagement. I see it all the time, how people just turn this into a white versus black thing. It's so stupid. Plus, it's not real rivalry because Reese is not on Clark's level. Well, they're both good players. And I see the race thing where you want to see it, I guess. I guess that's kind of baked in, right?
I'm not going to subscribe to that. I would certainly hope to think that people are more intelligent than that. Two players, they're players that just obviously dislike each other. Okay. But what I'm saying is that why is it getting this much attention? Because there are big stars that have flagrant fouls all the time and it doesn't get this much burn.
Yeah. I mean, well, anytime they play each other, it's going to be, again, it's, if you just think of it,
are they trying to,
Bird and Magic?
But what I'm saying is are they trying to create something to draw eyes to it? So they're going to create this rivalry.
I don't think it's a wrestling thing. I think it's just, they don't like each other and they're two of the most prominent names at present. Are they the best players in the league? You can make a case that there's other good players that get undercovered.
There are a lot of great players in the league.
Not any different than when Bird and Magic came onto the scene and it was, whatever. Dr. J was there and it was, there were great players, but they had the juice. They were new, fresh. I get it. Tony in Oak Creek has a couple of game balls for us. Game ball to the Preakness Stakes and journalism. What a race.
Yeah, that was a good race.
Game ball. And then Tony also said game ball to Alan Jackson. What a career. And it ended here. How about that? Wouldn't you play your last show at the Ryman or something or somewhere in Nashville, but he played his last show ever?
I think it was the last road show. I think he is doing one more in Nashville.
Doing one more sign off, and then he's never going to perform again until next time.
Right.
Right. It was like the George Strait.
I was going to say, like the Who's been on a farewell tour for 40 years. They just fired Ringo's kid, and they're going to get a new drummer and do more shows. 40 40 some years after their farewell tour, their first farewell tour. Kiss is going to be holograms before long. Will in Hales Corners is on the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Hey, Will, welcome to Drew and KB. Welcome to Game Balls and Kicks Monday.
Gentlemen, what's happening? Got a game ball. I'm going to throw a name out there, and if you can tell me who this guy is, 2 stars to you. Robert Schwartzman.
Robert Schwartzman.
Yes.
Game ball to Robert Schwartzman. What did he change his name to? Sounds like a name that someone changes.
The first rookie to sit on the pole at Indianapolis in over 40 years.
Oh, it sounds like a radio guy or an
For the
actor that's
500.
changed his name, because Jason
honest to God.
Schwartzman was I was thinking about Jason Schwartzman, who's a Coppola, right?
No one's ever heard of the
The
guy.
actor.
And he's on the pole for the biggest race in the world.
Is it still
Excellent.
that big of a deal? Is Indy lost
Yeah.
some of its luster?
It's gained momentum. It's a sellout this year for the first time in
years.
quite a while.
How has the emergence of Formula One impacted IndyCar? It's taken away some of the oxygen.
No. It's
Or has it
actually
helped?
helped out IndyCar
Okay.
because there's so many fans into it. So, yeah, it's a big deal.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Will, game ball to Robert Schwartzman, who I was thinking of Jason Schwartzman and the Coppola family.
So
I was thinking of Rushmore and other stuff that he's been in.
Here's my take on, and it can be summed up in one little sound clip. And here's what my take is on the Caitlin Clark, the popularity of the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese thing. Hunter?
Did you tell Peterman about this?
Well, I tried, but he thought it was some sort of a cat fight.
Cat fight?
Okay, why? Why do guys do this? What is so appealing to men about a cat fight?
Yeah, cat fight.
That's your reason.
Cat fight.
It's a cat fight. That's what it is. They're hoping that at some point it's going to get so out of control that like a nice little pillow fight, and then they'll start to wrestle right there on the court.
Oh, I love it. 877
Cat fight.
794-1973. From the 608, the Indy 500 still exists. Haven't watched for years.
That's what I'm saying. It's that when Tony George split and then started the Indy Racing League, that's where everything started to go sideways. But Sue went every year. I think she's going this year. I'm not sure, but she went every year, and it used to be such a big thing that the week before, I remember her watching Carburetor Day, when they were doing that, and they covered all of those things. And then she was also watching, at some point she would watch the qualifiers. And but now I couldn't tell you a single person in, after the Unsers and the Foyts and all those are, they moved on. Now it's like great grandkids of, AJ Foyt or something, but it just doesn't seem to have the same luster.
When they used to hit State Fair Park the week after Indy, that was
in
we had the double whammy, and we paid more attention. The Rex Mays.
Yeah.
That's right. Jules from Milwaukee kicked to the balls to my boss for adding more work on me this Friday night before Memorial Day weekend.
When you're lower than whale poop.
Right before Memorial Day. Oh, that
420.
stinks. Oh, it's 420. Everything stops on the Drew and KB program at 420. We pause for the cause. The cause is to ask the question that's appropriate for today, this time of day. It's 420. What are you, high?
Are you high? You're huffing grass?
Oh, baby, we love our products from happyplacehemp.com. Rob and Chris, two guys making great products that they'll sell at a discount if you use the code Drew and KB in person at the store in Muskego or online at happyplacehemp.com. Whatever you buy, 25% off with the code Drew and KB. KB, what's the story today?
Well, I'm going to tell you about this. There's a woman, Chloe Gray. She's a lifestyle influencer.
And I like where this is going already.
All right. She has got over 450,000 followers on TikTok. And she just, TSA would not let her board a plane because of something that she had a weird thing in her carry-on. And she documented it. And she documented it on her TikTok. And she says, I got to get my protein during the flight. I got to get my protein. And and she said, this is how you give yourself a first-class experience without paying for first class. And she was traveling 8 hours across the country from New Jersey to California, including a layover. And so what exactly was it that got TSA upset that she brought on the plane? They stopped her, but they still let her board. Any guesses, Drew? Any guesses what she bought? It's food. It's a food item.
Food item.
The food item.
Raw liver.
No. She says I get scared of sometimes being trapped for hours without something to eat. She goes, you could call it food anxiety, and for health reasons, I like to manage my blood sugar. So what did she pull out of her purse, her big oversized purse, when she got on the plane? A whole rotisserie chicken from Whole Foods.
Oh, my.
In the plastic bag with a fork. And sat in her seat and started digging in to a rotisserie chicken. Now, I've seen people, it's the worst when people bring food on, especially like cheeseburgers with onions and stuff, and they sit next to you. But she's kind of hot. So I suppose I'd let the rotisserie chicken slide. But dear God,
greasy and messy. I mean,
it is.
How into that?
She said, I grabbed the chicken.
I thought she was going to be Liver King or something.
No, I grabbed the chicken. It was conventionally packaged and has a handle, which makes it easy to carry through the airport. Some people travel with designer bags. My designer bag just happened to be a whole rotisserie chicken. So I guess I got to say to Miss Influencer, Chloe Gray, what are you, high?
Are you high? You're huffing grass?
Wow. A total freaking chicken.
Wow.
That's something that I don't think I'd get mad at. I think I would just sit back and laugh at. It's like, does that chick have a whole chicken? She's got a whole chicken.
I mean, someone had to be filming that for the gram, right?
Oh, yeah, she was.
She was. Okay, so I'm just going to dive into this. I mean, knife and fork maybe, but just a fork or just like eating it with your hands, that's Viking weekend stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The rotisserie chicken. And of course, you do the deep dive and you find out, like everything else, KB, rotisserie chickens aren't usually as healthy for you as you think they have.
No, they're not. Just don't eat the skin if you want
sodium,
for starter.
High sodium, and they're full of
nothing's
hormones and stuff because they try to fatten them up, and
nothing's really good unless you raise it and eat it yourself and you know exactly what it is.
Pretty much grass fed. That is 420. What are you high enough to eat a rotisserie chicken on a plane?
Rotisserie chicken.
What would be worse though? Someone eating that in row 12A, or someone like in the boarding lounge sitting there with it on their lap crushing? I think I'd rather see it on the plane than in the boarding area.
Oh man, I sat at LaGuardia. Ugh. Dude was in the line going through security and opened a can of sardines and was eating sardines out of one of those roll up. I mean, you could, and I wasn't even remotely close to him. He was probably 10 people in front of me, and you could smell these. And it was like, are you kidding me? You just
sardines.
You know those sardine cans with the little key wrench, and you roll that top back like you do on Spam.
Some people swear by that. There's the people who want their protein.
I think, is it sardines? Is that what kippers are?
For breakfast anymore. Hell, I don't know.
Yeah, smoked herring dish kippers or something like that. It was just
Ma Bench pickled herring on the plane. That would be good.
Oh, God.
All right. That is 420. What are you high? Brought to us by friends at happyplacehemp.com. Use the code Drew and KB for 25% off your order. Every time in person or on the store, use the code. You're going to love the products. We recommend the Drift Seltzer, of course, and the various gummies. All right. Mm-hmm. When we come back, I think Hunter's going to hit us with some hardcore sports. We had some news from the Brewers as they get ready to face the Orioles. We had a little minor story, kind of not a surprise, with the Packers and anything else that is happening of the moment. We'll hit you with some hardcore sports coming up, and stay tuned for your chance to win a pair of wristbands to the Harley Homecoming, a country theme this year with Hank Jr. and Chris Stapleton, Turnpike Troubadours. That's going to be a lot of fun on Milwaukee's lakefront, July 10th to the 13th. We will have a pair of wristbands for you coming up. KB, you got a game we can play? What can we play?
Yeah, I do. I got another new game.
Outstanding.
It's all in your head.
All right.
That's what. Yeah, it's not what you think it is. But I got a game we can
All right,
play.
we're going to play a game for those as we move forward. Don't you go anywhere. We're midway through the Monday edition. Drew and KB statewide on the game.
Preset. Save.
We're already a preset in your car, I assume.
Preset number 1. Never a doubt.
And we've brought it to the iHeartRadio app.
Simply click the button labeled Preset. Our station gets anchored to the top of your app. 97.3 The Game. Added.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Eastbound 94, stall off to the right shoulder at 76, slow 70th to Mitchell Boulevard. Westbound delays 35th to Mitchell Boulevard, out at Sunny Slope, a stall on the right shoulder. Moreland to Marquette in both directions taking 13 minutes. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Argo Glass and Windows.
No need to replace windows when you can repair them. Argo Glass and Windows, always offering free estimates. Rotted wood, foggy glass, hard to slide patio door. There's no need to replace if you can repair them. Visit ArgoWindowRepair.com.
Drew and KB here with our buddies, Rob and Chris from HappyPlaceHemp.com. Let's talk a little bit, and this comes up a lot with Delta 9 THC products. Wisconsin isn't a legal state at this point, but your products are indeed legal. Where is that line?
So Wisconsin falls under the federal law, which is 0.3% Delta 9 THC per product. So all of our products are derived from hemp and have a concentration of 0.3% on a dry weight basis, so it's legal. So a gummy, which is heavier, I can put a lot more in there, and you can still get the same effects. And especially with my new seltzer, I can put a lot more in there and you can feel the effects, and it stays way below the legal threshold.
Let's talk about the new store hours. You guys realize that your customers were having a hard time getting to you before 5 o'clock, so you're helping them out.
Yeah, that's been the case for coming up on 5 years now. We're open Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9 to 7, and Saturday, 10 to 2.
Thanks, guys. Remember, quick and easy ordering at HappyPlaceHemp.com. Promo code Drew and KB for 25% off your order every time. Drew Wilson from 97.3 The Game here. We're happy to introduce Pep's Draft House Pizza as the official pizza of the Timeout Sports Lounge. Pep's has generous toppings, Wisconsin cheese, 15 different varieties, and craft beer pairings. KB and I think it's a perfect fit. Make your house a draft house and try one today.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
KB here. It's time to shed that winter weight, and the best way to do it is with Milwaukee Weight Loss. Schedule your free consultation at 262-433-4008 or visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-433-4008 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. Looking to simplify your everyday banking? Our checking and savings accounts offer the tools you need, plus the friendly, simply local service you deserve. Enjoy competitive rates, 24/7 online and mobile banking, and real people ready to help right here in your community. Whether you're checking balances at midnight or stopping by one of our branches at noon, Great Midwest Bank has you covered with a variety of new and improved account options designed for your unique needs. Great Midwest Bank, simply local and member FDIC.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies.
to
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank NA, member FDIC.
I lived on a commercial salmon fishing boat in Alaska, and I genuinely think that was the first time I've ever felt myself kind of like slipping mentally. I think Alaska does weird things to people.
If you're interested in hearing anonymous callers like this tell stories from their lives, check out my podcast, Therapy Gecko. You can listen to Therapy Gecko on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Therapy Gecko and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
After winning Game 2 at Texas, the Milwaukee Admirals return home for Game 3 in their best-of-5 series against the Stars. Middle of the ice, picked off. Here's a breakaway for Weisblatt. Weisblatt shoots, scores! Pre-game coverage Wednesday at 6:30, face-off at 7 on Fox Sports 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Broadcasting live from the all-new Iron Shock Studios built by Rima Remodel. This is Drew and KB.
Do me a favor, all right? Don't be too critical.
On the game.
Fly ball left center. Churriel back, and he will leap, and he caught it! Churriel brought it back! Timed his leap perfectly. Nice. We are young.
Oh, what a play yesterday. Trevor McGill got the save for the Brewers officially, but that was a save if ever there was one. Jackson Churriel brought one back. Great call by Levering on FanDuel Sports Wisconsin, and Bill Schroeder chiming in. He'll join us tomorrow on the program.
Yes.
Always love catching up with our buddy Rock. But that was a big moment at the ballpark. The first ever robbery by Jackson Churriel. And it made me think. You think about last year, some of the things like, why are the Brewers doing what they did last year? How many home runs did they steal last year between Perkins and everybody else? Like 10?
Yeah, probably at least 5.
At least between 5 and 10, I would say, conservatively. Yeah. And then how many 3-run homers did Adames hit? Because those are pretty big as well. And you're missing kind of those two elements, among many others, that the Brewers are kind of lacking this year as they go into a matchup tonight against the Orioles. Hey, this sounds like a hardcore sports discussion. Hunter, let's do it officially.
Okay.
There's sports, and then there's hardcore sports. If you have an unquenchable thirst for sports, we satisfy every one of those desires. We give it to you the way you like it. Hardcore.
All right, let's get into that sports action, and let's start with today's news, and that is that Rob Zastryzny is going to be opening for the Brewers today. Quinn Priester will come in afterwards. Priester, of course, has had an opener for him one other time this year. That was Tyler Alexander against the Cubs in the opening game of that series in early May. But now you get Rob Zastryzny, who was picked up in a trade from the Yankees on Friday, and he is with the club and going to be an opener and will be the 11th starting pitcher for the Brewers this season. The Dodgers only have more at 13. And remember last year they had, I believe, 17 or 18 starters.
That sounds about right.
And they're over halfway there, and it's mid-May.
Zastryzny was warming up.
Wow.
He was warming up at one point.
Yeah, he was.
Yesterday, or was it Friday? I remember seeing him up in the pen. But hey, there you go. And again, the strategy is somewhat sound. It didn't work. It didn't work last time, right? That they tried this, that Murph tried this.
Yeah, it did not work. Yeah, the Cubs went on to win 10-0.
Yeah, it didn't work last time. But they did it last year a lot with Colin Ray and others. So I get the opener strategy.
Yeah.
Roll the balls out there. Why not? Yeah. So Zastryzny and then Priester. And again, let's see how they do. Try to get through 6. Again, the Brewers you can't take anything for granted, but you would hope that against the next 7 games against the Orioles and Pirates, 4-3 would be my baseline. 5-2 would be almost the baseline. You got to win these games. Like when you have a chance to beat teams that you should beat, you're the Brewers, you should beat them. Other thing that freaks me out about the Orioles coming to town, they had Burns and like KB, they still have some good young players, but their interim manager is Tony Manzolino.
Yes.
And his father, Doug Manzolino, was on Garner's staff and was a Brewers coach. And he was an interesting cat. And I liked Manzo a lot, but I remember that little kid, Tony, running around, him and his brother running around. And now he's managing the Orioles. Like, good God. Life moves fast, Hunter. Pretty soon you're going to be in our boat. You're going to be like, oh God, I've been going to the ballpark for 20 years and now guys, the kids are playing and managing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But Manzolino was a White Sox coach on Terry Bevington's staff, and the Brewers and White Sox at that time had some great brawls.
Oh, did they ever?
With scrap iron, and he wanted to fight Hawk Harrelson, and then Garner ended up hiring Manzolino, and they kind of looked like each other. Manzolino was even shorter than Gar, but they both had the mustaches and stuff. It was like he liked his spunk, and he hired him away from the White Sox. So we got to know Manzo, and he's a great dude, great guy. And his son is now he was the Orioles third base coach, and he took over for Brandon Hyde last week. What else you got, Hunter, for hardcore?
Yeah, Orioles are on a 6-game losing streak heading into tonight, 15-30. Their ERA is 5.52 as a team. Not good. Also, they give up the most home runs in baseball. The Brewers not very good in the home run department this year, so hopefully that can turn around with a win here tonight. All right, let's go to Pat Murphy, who had some interesting post-game comments. Curious to see what you guys think of these. Saturday night, after they had lost to the Twins, and the second straight shutout, fourth shutout in the last 5 games for the Brewers. And this is what Pat Murphy had to say.
I trust the players. I like the players. I think they're good. Now, did we go spend a lot of money in the offseason, guys? Let's call a spade a spade. No, we didn't. Did we, are we real deep in the position player business? No, we're not. But we have good ones. And we have ones that aren't getting the results right now and aren't in their best state of mind. I trust the players.
Yeah. So
you think that was a little slap at management?
It came off that way, whether it was or not.
I mean, because when I first heard that, I went, whoa.
Yeah. A little bit of a whoa. I think it's true. I believe their biggest contract they gave out in the offseason was Quintana.
That sounds about right.
And that was about $4 or $5 million. Before that, it was Tyler Alexander with just over $1 million. So they didn't. But they also relied on Joey Ortiz and Caleb Durbin, 2 guys you got for all-star pitchers that you traded away. And Oliver Dunn, who they thought highly of. Yeah. And it didn't pan out so far.
Yep. And again, the big 3 would be Yelich, Contreras, and Churio.
And they're not really performing.
Not at this juncture.
The Yelich thing, that's, because he showed signs of coming back after the knee injury, and now he's back to where he was 2 years ago.
He was hitting about 320 at this time last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's leading the league when he got hurt with the back,
But
right?
didn't he tweak with his... Now he's toe tapping, and they're just messing with his swing.
Well, yeah, he was doing the toe tap. Then he went to the leg kick, and now he's back to the toe tap. I mean,
okay, see, that's the problem.
Yeah, he's met.
If you're doing that, it's like you gotta. It's kind of like putting.
Sure.
You're messing with your grip. It's like, I'm going to go to the claw. I'm going to do this, and you never end up really putting well until you go back to the way that you originally. That you originally did it. The little tweaks sometimes don't seem to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some guys tinker, some guys stay the course. It's fascinating the gymnastics you go through, moving the box up, away from the plate, on the plate, up, back, change your stance, it looked like Churio has changed his stance a little bit. He's like standing more upright than he was, and he's still searching. And Churio's thing is he just can't stop chasing.
Yeah.
He's chasing breaking balls in the other batter's box, right? So
yeah, he really saw the ball well last year, especially for it being his first year in the big leagues. I heard Corey Provis on with the guys this morning, and he does work with Justin Morneau, and Morneau, of course, played for the Twins forever. But he said that his sophomore season was the hardest season of his career.
Yeah, a lot of guys say that.
Yeah,
because you're kind of cruising through it. Again, it's like that with a lot of young players. But last year they were just kind of cruising through and didn't know what they know, and they weren't. Now they're looking at it like bigger picture. Now, guys like take a Frelick or somebody like that, or Frelick or Terang. When you're trying to get established, you're just like your head's swimming a little bit, and you think of you're at bat and you're focused on yourself, kind of. And now that they're a little bit more comfortable, they realize, we've lost 3 in a row. We haven't scored a run in 3 games. I better do something here. And they put it, they create external pressure internally. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they start to think that way. And that never helps. It doesn't help. I'd rather have guys who are just completely oblivious and young and playing and having fun. And That's what we saw last year. It's not the same. It's never the same though. It's never the same. Even though you bring back the same guys, it's never the same.
To go along with that, and what KB was saying earlier when you were talking about, having a little bit of a concentration issue, Pat Murphy addressed the distraction he feels like some of his players are playing with. This was Saturday night as well.
And you get divided attention, like things like, I always talk about it. Divided attention is like, oh, we might lose. Oh, we're 4 games or 5 games under. Oh, we might not go to the playoffs this year. It's on our minds, and that's just dividing the attention of being in the moment right now.
There you go.
Basically what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Murphy. Great
Just
minds
got
think
to
alike.
be in the moment, be in that inning, be in that at bat, right?
Yep. Exactly. And it just have fun. It's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're having success, you're having fun. There you go. What else you got for headlines, Hunter?
Yeah, that is a 6:40 start tonight. All the pregame shows starting at 6 on the Game in Milwaukee on the iHeartRadio app.
There you go.
What's that?
I said, there you go.
Oh, yes, a little plug there. All right, Packers news. They've signed their first-round pick. Matthew Golden is officially green and golden. He signs the 4-year, fully guaranteed $17.58 million contract. So he's going to go into the season as Green Bay's highest-paid pass catcher by average annual value. How about that? $4.39 million. Christian Watson at $2.39 million. Luke Musgrave at 2.11 and Jaden Reed at 1.80.
Hey, being a first round pick comes with some advantages, huh?
Isn't it?
Not bad. Not bad. Good work if you can get it.
Yeah, so he is officially a Packer.
Number 22.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to hold out, right? Those days are gone. So he was going to sign, just a matter of when. Glad he signed now. Good news.
For sure.
Fantastic. Anything else, Hunter?
That is Hardcore Sports.
Bueno.
But do you know what you really need to know?
What do we need to know?
Okay, Hunter. When you go to the store and buy a loaf of bread,
okay,
all right. Same with you, Drew. And you get that loaf of bread at home. What's the first piece of bread you eat? Where do you get
Not
the first?
the end.
Yeah,
not the heel.
Save the heel.
Right, the second one in.
You do take the second one in.
Yeah, I don't go to the middle.
You are in the minority, my friend.
Really? Do most people go to the
I
middle?
go 5 slices in.
91% of people will skip at least the first slice of bread, not the heel.
Oh.
They'll go in because it's ugly.
Oh,
I
'cause
don't
it
mind
doesn't
the
look
heel.
You know what
they?
it's not my favorite.
Well, it's not my favorite, but you know what the heel is good for? Let's say you're having spaghetti or something like that. The heel is
like
pretty
a garlic bread type
Yeah,
of thing?
because you can take the
sop it
heel,
up the-
you put some butter on it, and then some garlic salt or some garlic, throw it in the oven, cook her up, and now you got yourself a nice little crispy half roll there for sopping up some gravy, like a schmuck.
There you go. Yeah. Ketchup.
We're going to play some bread out of this segment.
Egg noodles.
Look at this.
Look at Hunter.
Look at
Oh,
Hunter.
my
He's not even doing it with the right definition of the word. That
Beautiful.
is such a pro move.
Beautiful. All right, we're getting close to opening the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge. You'll have a chance to win tickets to see to the Harley Homecoming, July 10th through the 13th, Veterans Park in Milwaukee on the lakefront. It's going to be awesome. We have a pair of wristbands for you for GA for both nights. Don't go anywhere. Drew and KB statewide on the game.
Help me through my darkest hour. Lately I'm a praying that you'll always be a staying beside me. Used to be my life was just emotions passing by.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
After ending the Twins' 13-game winning streak at home Sunday, the Brewers will stay put as they host the Orioles, currently on a 6-game losing streak for Game 1 of 3 tonight. The Thunder heading to the Western Conference Finals. After demolishing the Nuggets in Game 7, they'll host the Timberwolves for Game 1 tomorrow. Scotty Scheffler captured the PGA Championship with a 5-stroke win at Quail Hollow, his 3rd career major win. I'm Frank Garrity.
The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Visit your local authorized dealer or learn more at mbusa.com/dream.
Zabe and Butch in the morning.
Tune in Tuesday to Zabe and Butch. Zabe is back. Plus, we'll talk to Hunter about the Brewers. All that starting at 6 a.m.
Zabe and Butch, weekday mornings after 6 on The Game.
Drew Wilson here. That sharp pain in your back, the stiffness in your neck, you don't have to live with it. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin offers expert spine care right here in our community. From diagnostics to rehab to surgery if needed, they'll guide you every step of the way. When I was in pain, my first thought was to reach out to OAW. It was the best decision I ever made. Book your appointment at orthowisconsin.com. That's orthowisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Want to make your next meal a little less ordinary? Well, head to Quick Trip because we're so back with our legendary No Ordinary Chicken. Hand-breaded, fried to golden perfection, and ready for you to devour.
This chicken, it's different.
Hey, grab your own bite of our juicy chicken tenders or sauced up boneless wings. Perfect for dunking, dipping, and just devouring. Feeling extra hungry? Well, sink your teeth into our crispy chicken sandwich. It's so good you'll want to write it a love song.
Oh, chicken sandwich, you complete me.
Yeah, okay. Maybe not a song, but it's one great sandwich. And hey, if you're feeding the whole flock, grab the 8-piece chicken meal dinner for tonight, tomorrow, or the whole week. This isn't just any chicken. It's Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken. The legend on your plate and flavor that rules the roost. Stop in your local Quick Trip today and taste the difference.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Tilton Windows, Doors, and more. We've got what you're looking for. Tilton Windows, Doors, and more. We've got what you're looking for. Come on over, you'll agree. When you want the best, we're the one to see.
KB here with Javier Cardona from Tilton Windows, Doors, and More. I got to tell you, Javier, we've been working together for more than 6 years, and I got a surprise for you.
What's that, KB?
Well, with all the wind we've had this winter and spring, I've lost gutters, patio lights, and now my front porch storm door. So I guess I'm moving on to the doors part of Tilton Windows, Doors, and More. You got me on this, right?
We do, KB. We do doors. We do storm doors. We do security doors. Along with siding, we'll do your soffit, your fascia, and your gutters.
Well, there you have it, folks. Just go to utilton.com and click on the orange button to get started. That's the letter U, Tilton.com.
Tilton Windows, Doors, and more. We've got what you're looking for.
At Tilton Windows, Doors, and More, they've got what you're looking for.
As down payments get bigger, millions of renters across America feel like they'll never be able to buy a home. So instead of lowering expectations, Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with ONE+, helping more renters become owners. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Kick off summer with Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Right now, get 5 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. Plus, get up to 40% off select major appliances and save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances $396 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/28. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
After winning Game 2 at Texas, the Milwaukee Admirals return home for Game 3 in their best-of-5 series against the Stars. Middle of the ice, picked off. Here's a breakaway for Weisblatt. Weisblatt, shoot, scores! Pre-game coverage Wednesday at 6:30, face-off at 7 on Fox Sports 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Winning streak over for the Twins. McGill is save number 6.
I mean, we're not dead. Don't count us out. That's for sure. We're slumping a little bit, and the boys went out there and swung it well, and the defense was great today too.
Hunter buoyed by the Brewers' victory on getaway day yesterday against the Twins. Brewers and Orioles getting ready at American Family Field. First pitch is coming up in just under 2 hours from right now. The baseball pregame show follows our program on 97.3 The Game and the iHeartRadio app, featuring none other than Hunter Baumgart.
Mm-hmm.
So that means the pipe bomb is coming in for our last hour.
Yes, indeed he is.
Oh, baby.
I'm setting him up with a bar for the bar of the day here.
Oh,
okay.
Don't worry, you'll still get one.
Look at that. Hunter
Will you give
still.
us a review from Metal Fest? Wasn't Metal Fest?
Oh
this
yeah,
weekend?
yeah, Friday night. Oh, he'll tell you. He's
all right.
Good. Now we're talking.
Now we're talking. 877-794-1973. Your ticket to the to the NicolaLaw.com talking text line to the Iron Jock studio, which is soon to transform to the Central Standard Distillery Timeout, the sports lounge, where we'll have drinks and good times. You know where you're going to have drinks and good times?
Where?
June 13th, the parking lot at American Family Field, Brewapalooza, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. We're going to be live in the parking lot. The Molitor lot is our spot. And here's the deal. We told you last week tickets were kind of like running out. We're into overtime. We've hit our allotment, but we have access to more.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to come, and people have asked me, can I come? I already have a ticket. Can I come to just the tailgate? Well, we don't have that mechanism because the way it's set up is through the Brewers. You're buying tickets from the Brewers. $45 though gets you a ticket to the game and beer, wine, seltzer, soda. Beer, seltzer, and soda, and brats, burgers, chicken, salads, food. Our friends at Left's Lucky Town, Revere's, and the Hot House Tavern in Menominee Falls are handling the food and beverage aspect of it. We're just having a party. We're going to be broadcasting from the parking lot that day and then going into the game. How good is that? I don't think we can beat that
Awesome.
deal. It's going to be fantastic. So Brewapalooza, get your tickets. It's June 13th. It's a Friday night. We made it a Friday night. This is the son of Nooner Day. And we made it that way so that people could come from all over the state. And it's not a day game. People don't have to take off of work. You can come and see us. The tailgate, the lots open at 4:00. And obviously we're going to be there until, hanging out in the parking lot until right before the game starts.
Mm-hmm.
Come and join us. There's still room for you, as Yuki used to say. Still room for you, but if no one else bought a ticket, we'd be okay. But we want more people to come. So we have access to more, but we have hit our target number of attendees, which is cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that this thing is, I'm glad they blew this thing up. Got all the shows involved instead of just the Nooner guys, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun time.
We were left out, man.
Yeah, I had a lot of FOMO. I would go to the tailgate and then have to come in and do the show.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're gonna be there doing the show at the tailgate. So life is good.
They never even told me when the tailgate was. You're lucky.
All right, Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge opens next. Come to think of it, I think Jim Cantor is going to come and visit us from Central Standard. He's going to be in tomorrow in the lounge. It's going to be fun.
Something special.
We're going to be cocktailing, and Pipe Bomb's going to regale us with tales from Metal Fest. That's right. Oh, baby. I can't wait to see what his favorite band was. Don't go anywhere. You got Drew and KB statewide on the game.
The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
This sports update is brought to you by American Place Casino. Nonstop excitement just over the Wisconsin border in Lake County, Illinois. I'm Dave Gasper. The Milwaukee Brewers welcome the Baltimore Orioles to American Family Field for a 3-game series beginning tonight. The Orioles are in last place in the AL East and fired manager Brandon Hyde over the weekend. The Orioles will have Dean Kramer on the mound while Quinn Priester will be making the start tonight for the Brewers. First pitch is at 6:40 p.m. And to get you ready for it, Hunter Baumgart has a baseball pregame show coming up right after Drew and KB. The conference finals in the NHL are now set. The Florida Panthers and Carolina Hurricanes will play in the East Finals with Game 1 on Tuesday, while the Dallas Stars and Edmonton Oilers will play in the West Finals with Game 1 on Wednesday. I'm Dave Gasper on Milwaukee's most listened to sports station, 97.3 The Game.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Cruiser with a crash, Highway 145 and Burleigh over on 4145 northbound from the Zoo to Good Hope, taking 20 minutes, about a minute more southbound, and on to 894 southbound, another 8 to the Hale Interchange. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by First Choice Heating and Cooling.
This energy bill can't be right.
Don't let old systems drain your budget. First Choice Heating offers 5 years of 0% payment options on new installation, select systems only. Visit firstchoiceheating.com today.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Introducing Central Standard's Brandy Old Fashioned in a can.
Made with their award-winning North Brandy infused with Leinenkugel's delicious flavors they use in their shandy lines.
Just grab a can, open, and enjoy. No mixing or muddling needed.
Central Standard and Leinenkugel's. Join us out here.
Join a growing team offering outstanding benefits, including their own health clinic, paid training, and top wages. Take the next step in your career. Join Southern Wisconsin's premier manufacturer, Metalcraft of Mayville, hiring all positions, skilled and unskilled. All shifts at their Mayville, West Bend, Beaver Dam, Fall River, and Horicon facilities. No experience required. Learn more and apply at mtlcraft.com. That's mtlcraft.com. Metalcraft is an equal opportunity employer. Minorities, women, veterans, and persons with disabilities encouraged to apply.
The final episode of Season 3 of the Larrabee and LePay podcast is available to listen to right now. Matt and Wayne talk with Jake Kokorowski, who covers the Wisconsin Badgers for Sports Illustrated, about where Badger football sits coming out of spring. Plus, Wayne talks Packers post-draft and what to look for in the upcoming OTAs. You can listen to this and every episode of the Larrabee LePay podcast, available anytime on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Presented by UW Credit Union. Here for every you.
What's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. You're listening to 97.3 The Game, the #1 sports talk station in Milwaukee. For award-winning injury lawyers, when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law or visit us at nicolaylaw.com. Get the beard, get the win.
KB here. How good was the job CertaPro Painters did on our exterior trim? Well, put it this way. After seeing the job they did on our house, the neighbors up the cul-de-sac had them do their entire exterior, and another friend selling their home had their interior done. 2 more satisfied CertaPro customers. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. To schedule a free estimate for your home or business, go to CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.com. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Drew Wilson here for Pep's Draft House Pizza, the official pizza of the Timeout Sports Lounge and the Drew and KB Show. When you're hungry for a pizza, take it to the house and pair your favorite beer for a true Draft House experience at home. With 3 crust options, original hand-tossed, crunchy thin crust, and new rising crust options, it's easy to live your best frozen pizza life with Pep's Draft House Pizza. My personal favorite is the Brawlin' Buffalo Chicken paired with an American Pale Ale. The perfect combination, delivering a knockout punch you won't be able to resist.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
111 East Kilbourne, Milwaukee. CordellCordell.com.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
#1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee. 97.3 The Game.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, smart and good-looking listeners across Wisconsin. Drew and KB's Timeout Sports Lounge is now open. So grab a bar stool and belly up because it's time to knock a few back with your host, Drew and KB.
So basically you have Jim, Jack, Johnny Red, Johnny Black, and Jose, all my favorite men.
Time for drinking, bud.
Drink up while it's cold, ladies. Toilet wine is a big thing in there, and people get their drink on.
We sat and drank with the sun on our shoulders and felt like free men.
I don't know what inferior swill this is, but I ordered a Lagavulin. Set them up and I'll knock them back, Lloyd. One by one.
We hope there isn't a single fan who is having a problem with the two-fisted slopper.
Drink. The king commands it.
They took the bar! The whole bar!
Medium dry martini, lemon peel, shaken, not stirred.
501 in the good land. Welcome to Happy Hour. Welcome to the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge. Our little happy hour oasis. We're happy you're hanging out with us, Drew and KB. And, oh my goodness, we're happy to be joined by the Polish pipe bomb, Jeff Orlowski.
Good afternoon, America.
Oh,
What's going on, Pipe?
Hunter had to go prepare for the baseball pregame show and doing Hunter things. So Pipe Bomb steps on in. And before we do any of the formalities of the Timeout Sports Lounge, like telling people about thecentralstandard.com and all that, Pipe Bomb, we want to know, how was Metal Fest?
Oh, it was amazing. You know, it was like a lost boy finding his Zen place, and just good for the soul, you know, very soothing for the soul.
This was at the rave. It was a 3-day head banging extravaganza all day, all night. Just bands.
Can you call it an extravaganza, or does Nugent have to play in order to call it an extravaganza?
It was an extravaguar.
Yeah, extravaguar.
Did you go see Guar last night?
I did not.
Oh.
I was here for 13 hours yesterday. So my daughter took my tickets for yesterday, and she went and got to enjoy the lovely sounds of Guar.
I mean, so who did you see that you like? You went on Friday.
Yeah, I was there Friday night. So the headliner was Down, and you know, they were amazing. That's Phil from Pantera and Kirk from Crowbar. They were great. SOD was really awesome. It's like a tribute band to Stormtroopers of Death.
Yeah.
And, you know, you had Scott Ian from Anthrax in there, Jamie Jasta, who runs Metal Fest. He, you know, bought the name, brought it back. He was the front man for it. You know, one of the best frontmans in all of music there. So they just tore the place up. It was great.
Did you like Bongzilla or the Lurking Corpses better?
I didn't get to see either one, but I saw No Mas. They were on the little itty bitty tiny bar stage, and they were a lot of fun. There was this band called Wolves in the Throne Room, which is kind of what a ridiculous name. But,
That's where I draw the line. Wolves in the Throne Room.
Like, you couldn't call yourself Peeling Flesh or something normal. It was Wolves in the Throne Room. But they were interesting. Like, the music was a lot different than than most of the other bands that played there. Kind of atmospheric metal, still heavier than hell. But like the lights, it was all black. They had dark red lights, and so all you could really see was the silhouette of the band members. The guitarists had like neon blue by their fretboard so they could look at the strings if they had to. But that was it. You couldn't really see the guys performing, but it was cool.
Fantastic. All right. Pipe Bomb he's with us now. That was your happy place. Glad you enjoyed the weekend. That's probably an early Father's Day for you. Love it.
Oh, it was glorious, man.
Love it.
If it could be every day.
I'm sure.
That would be
all right.
heaven.
So in the Timeout Sports Lounge, we feature the spirits crafted together by our buddies Evan and Pat and our friend Jim Cantor, who's going to join us tomorrow, Chief Commercial Officer at Central Standard Craft Distillery, thecentralstandard.com, where you learn about those websites. KB, what's our cocktail of the day?
Well, we're doing like shooters today. We're just going to do shooters, and this is called a Gravedigger. And that is a Drew and KB Cabin Strength Bourbon and 151.
Oh my, Grave Digger.
We're gonna hurt you.
That's outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I know Hunter left a tavern for Pipe Bomb because we like to salute taverns around the state. We love the tavern culture. That's why we opened our own little bar at Happy Hour. What's the tavern of the day, Pipe?
Well, that would be Shell and Andy's Driftwood in Mattoon.
Oh, sure.
Right.
It says they're a laid-back bar with a
Driftwood Inn,
a wide beer selection.
Yeah, there you go. And Mattoon,
KB, you know those people.
Mm-hmm.
On the Mattoon Maniacs.
That's
Shell
right.
and Andy's.
Fantastic. So when we go there and we have Gravediggers, we'll also order a Pep's Draft House pizza. KB, tell them.
Oh, about Pep's Draft House pizza? I thought you would never ask. Pep's Draft House pizza. This is the Cadillac of pizzas. If pizzas were cars, this would be no, I take that back. This would not be the Cadillac. This would be like the Lamborghini of pizzas. Big toppings, big taste, delicious, handcrafted flavors, delightfully heavy. This is not for the faint of heart. You know, you can have a whole Draft House experience at home with the original hand-tossed crust, the crispy thin crust, delicious rising crust, 14 different flavors, including a sausage and pepperoni toss. Who doesn't like tossing sausage on a pizza? Am I right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you can even get personal size pizzas. The Taproom Double, Prohibition, those are all personal size. So there is no reason why you should not have a Draft House pizza when you want pizza. It is 3 good, according to Hunter.
Gotta love that. Yes, sir. 877-794-1973. It is Monday, and we are taking game balls and kicks to the balls today. For those of you just getting out of work on the ride home,
you got any pipe?
Reach out to us. Game balls and kicks to the balls. We have the sound effects ready for you. And
oh yeah, I got one here. I got a kick in the balls to none other than the little leprechaun himself, Rory McIlroy.
When you're lower than whale poop.
Lower
than refusing to talk to the press all week?
Well, no, not that. You know, that's softer than hell, but first trying to show up at the PGA Championship and play with an illegal driver. And he gets busted for it on a Tuesday before he ever got underway. But yeah, does that throw his Masters win into question?
Well, you know what? No, it doesn't, because he played at the Players Championship. He's been messing with drivers. Okay. And the only reason I know this is because of this story. He played at the Players Championship, and they're working on drivers for him, because those guys, a lot of those guys, the stuff that's in the bag, you're not buying off the rack. It's all made for them, and including the balls,
right,
too. And so he was playing with the driver that they had built for him, and did not like it, and called an Uber driver because they were in Ponte Vedra or Ponte Verde or whatever the hell it is by Jacksonville, and he lives in Jupiter. Called a Uber driver and said, "Go to my house. They're going to give you this driver and drive it up to Jacksonville." It cost him like $980.
Yeah.
But he did. He drove the driver up. So he's probably still messing with drivers, and they probably made something that was non-conforming, and then he just got caught, or, you know, he didn't know it was non-conforming. He doesn't strike me as a guy. He was playing well. He's not trying to cheat. I mean, he just won the Masters.
Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
A couple issues I've got with it, though, is that, okay, first of all, you know, I know that the PGA randomly selects, you know, a player here and there to test their equipment. But then, you know, like in this case, you had Rory's stuff found to be non-conforming.
Well,
then
so was Scheffler's.
Yeah, there were 10 other guys, I think, that had non-conforming equipment.
Yeah, but then they don't release exactly why it wasn't. You know, was the face of the club the size of a Toyota Camry, you know, where the sweet spot was gargantuan. They're not transparent about it, which allows us tinfoil hat wearers to go nuts with these conspiracy theories.
Mark, the tool maker, says it had to do with the thickness of the face of the driver.
Okay.
So, I mean, those guys, I know if you ever had the opportunity to go into a trailer at a pro event, because when the Greater Milwaukee Open was there, you know, playing, or the US Bank, right? You go to Brown Deer, and there would be all these TaylorMade trailer and a Callaway trailer and all. Well, they're all in there repairing clubs, you know, setting up clubs for guys, re-gripping things, reshafting stuff, tweaking, you know, drivers and 3-woods. I mean, these guys tinker so much. There's a legendary story where I don't know if it was TaylorMade or Titleist or Nike, one of the three that Tiger had played with, where he was working on new drivers, and he was hitting them, and they made 2 drivers that were, they said the shafts, the heads were a little bit, he was testing shafts, and they said they had them made, and they were supposed to be exactly the same weight, okay, with probably a different kick point or something. Tiger was hitting balls, and he goes, I'll take the heavier one. And they said, well, no, they're the same weight. He goes, no, they're not. And they went and weighed it, and the one shaft was, wait for it, a half a gram heavier.
No.
And he could tell.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys are so dialed in on stuff. So much more so than anybody else.
But you think it's a coincidence that he goes from being the number one driver on the tour, he shows up at the PGA, his driver's non-conforming, he has to use another one that's within the rules, and he struggles driving all 4 days.
They would have caught it earlier.
Okay.
I would think, right?
One would think, yeah. 877-794-1973. If you're just getting out of work, putting down the Penske file, come and join us. The water's fine here in the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge. It's got booze in it, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just saying.
This happens. We're getting people saying it happens a lot. You know, the clubs are taken out of the bag all the time.
Yeah, I just think that the PGA as a whole should be transparent about it. We all know they test every single car every single week in NASCAR. And when they fail, what they failed for, exactly what the rule was, what the part that got modified that shouldn't have been was. The PGA needs to just be more upfront about it and stop being super secretive. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
I'm with you on that, Pipe. Why not? All right, game balls and kicks to the balls. How about a game ball to Super Bowl champion coach Nick Sirianni?
Get that skunk out.
He got a contract extension today. No shock. You win a Super Bowl, you get an extension. But, man, they were ready to run him out of town last year. It's just a reminder that nothing in sports is permanent. Everything can flip.
Oh, yeah.
Because, remember, he was yelling at their fans and stuff, and then, he wins the Super Bowl, and he's now got a contract extension. So, good on him.
Brian from Bend, Oregon says, my understanding is that when a driver is hit over and over again, over time it wears down the face enough that it puts it into non-conforming status. And that could very well be the case because the thickness of the face, and thin, if it's thinner, right, and then the club is going to be lighter.
How often do pro guys at that level change their total bag, like change irons? Like,
I
use the
don't
same
know.
model, but I just mean, you know how it is? It used to be. Back in olden times, guys, like nowadays, guys will change. They'll wear a pair of shoes in the NBA, won a game, and one and done. They give them away after the game, or sometimes they change at halftime. That didn't used to be the case, but now that's the case. I'm just wondering, because if you hit irons and the way they hit them in the sweet spot all the time, you're gonna wear like a groove in, and you're going to wear them down. So how often do they have to have them, or do they just get the same set remade to the same specs?
They get them made. You know what we got to do? Why don't we do this? I'll reach out to our PGA Tour pro in residence, Mark Wilson, and maybe we'll have him on and say, hey, can we have you on?
Questions.
We just got a whole bunch of questions about what it's like playing on the tour. How many, and they have every guy's specs. And they can rebuild stuff, and it's just wild. Like the guys, just grips, for example, how they do it. It's like, okay, I want these regripped, and I want such and such. I want this Golf Pride medium grip, and I want a double wrap on the left hand, and then a single wrap on the right hand, and stuff. It's like the average person wouldn't know it, but they are so dialed in.
Tools, like just like a hitter who, like, I want this bad cupped, and I want this like this, and I want the handle to be this thick, and I want. Or now with the torpedo bats, which we heard so much about earlier in the year. Some Brewers guys are using them. I've noticed they haven't hit a lot of home runs.
No, they haven't. Amazing.
Just saying. But it's like those are the tools. Or guitar players with the action or the gauge of the strings. It's those little nuances, man. If you're just a hacker or a high handicapper, you might not notice the difference. But those guys, that's their life, man. So.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. So
it depends on what type of club too, because I think the newer clubs probably don't have, they won't wear down the face as much as a set of clubs that was the old forged, but there's pictures of pro players' old clubs. It's the size of a dime on the center of the face.
Oh yeah. Because that's where they hit all the time.
That's where they hit it. I've got an old 6-iron that isn't when I was playing really well, that has got that rusted out spot, but It wasn't. It's not the size of a dime, more like a quarter, but it shows you the difference between those guys. I changed my wedges out. My wedges will get marked. About every 2 years, I have to change my wedges.
Continuing game balls and kicks to the balls. Game ball to Fred Warner, the 49ers linebacker, just got a 3-year, $63 million deal. Make him the highest paid linebacker in the National Football League. And that's in the wake of Brock Purdy getting a 5-year, $265 million deal with $181 million guaranteed. So kudos to Fred Warner. We go to the NicolaLaw.com talking text line, and we welcome Brian to the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge. And Brian is calling us from Atlanta. Brian, welcome to Drew and KB.
Hey guys, how you doing?
We're excellent. What do you got for us, man?
Hey, I was listening to the PGA channel on Sirius XM this afternoon, and they were talking about Rory's non-conforming driver head. And they said what had happened was, and you guys were just talking about a little bit with repetitive hits, how it kind of deconforms over time. And they said his face got worn, like it ended up being out of conformity by like 1 millisecond or 1 millimeter or something like that. And all it really did was added 10 inches onto a drive, a standard drive. So
it's a game of inches. Every little bit, every edge, right? Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So I just wanted to add that in.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. The way they can test that stuff with robotics and stuff, and like, robots swinging clubs at the speed and
right. If you want to see, just go and Google Tiger Woods iron face, and they'll show you pictures of like his 8-iron and his putter, how it's worn down. It's like, oh dear God, it's just so perfect.
Iron face. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Did they play Metal Fest?
Yes.
Iron face.
Yeah.
And were they with Dong?
Pig Iron.
Well, Cannibal Corpse has a song called Hammer Smashed Face.
I think that's going to be my metal band name, Dong.
There you go.
That's a great metal band.
It is.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Dong.
That's not bad.
I'll buy that album.
I know you will.
What does every band at Metal Fest sell merch? Pipe? Do they have, or does it just like Metal Fest with all the band names on the shirts? Or can you buy?
They probably have that.
Like, if you have I would think, because a lot of those bands, that's how they sustain their, like selling shirts.
Yeah, it is. They have, the main merch stand and where they've got a bunch of bands, but not all. But then they've got, where the smaller stage is, like right when you walk in that side door, that whole floor is nothing but merch. And there's all these different stands. So, you could buy, shirts from bands that weren't there and stuff like that. So they've got all kinds of crazy stuff, but I'm sure you could find a shirt from every band that was there.
That's cool. Yeah, that's the lifeblood.
But I did not see a Bongzilla shirt because I would have loved to be sporting that.
Well, you didn't miss anything on the baseball postgame show on Friday, right?
No, that was one I was glad I missed.
And
16 strikeouts that night.
Yeah, and Saturday wasn't great either.
No, but Saturday was nice. Hunter filled in for Tim Allen on Saturday.
Hunter's a jack of all trades. He does it all, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a jack of all trades and master of all of them.
That's true. That's true. But the Brewers did salvage that, and we've been talking. We've already given a game ball to Jackson Chourio for his, Trevor McGill got to save, but Chourio saved the game in the 8th inning with that catch, one for the ages. And Pipe, you were earlier in the show we were talking about the Brewers and kind of the paradigm that they're in right now and how you should be looking at this season. I think this season's about development. Don't even worry about the playoffs because I don't think it's in the cards this year. Call me a pessimist, call me a realist, whatever you want. But a play like that, they had a bunch of those last year, and they had a bunch of 3-run homers by Adames, and those are just some of the elements that are missing right now is the sparkling defensive plays because, that makes your pitching better, right? And when you're struggling to score runs like the Brewers are, man, like they had an error yesterday. Ortiz kicked the ball, and Peralta pitched around it, but damn, they can't afford to give teams extra outs, and it's happening with a little bit more regularity this year than it did last year.
Yeah, it is, and it's happening from people you don't expect it from. We saw the early season defensive struggles by Bryce Terang, and he's cleaned that up pretty good now. But yeah, Ortiz, the margin for error with this team is very small, especially, when they're hitting the way they are. It's basically non-existent. But don't give up on the playoffs yet, Drew. I think this team can sit there and turn it around. They're a hell of a lot better team than what they've been playing here.
Oh, I don't disagree with that, but I was running through the numbers. They're 23rd in on-base percentage in the majors, 25th in batting average, 27th in OPS and home runs, 18th in ERA, 20th in walks and hits per inning pitched, and their strikeout to walk ratio puts them at 25th. The big numbers to me, though, they're 6 games behind the Cubs right now, and they're 6 games out of the wild card. And looking at the landscape, it's been one of those win the division or bust years. You got to win the division, I think, because Padres, Phillies, there's so many good teams that are going to rack up a lot more wins than the Brewers are, I think.
Oh, yeah, and Atlanta's coming on again.
Oh, yeah, they got up off the mat.
Yeah,
and not that anybody can, like the Brewers can't recapture some of what they had last year, but I just call me a pessimist. I will wait until I'm proven. And this week, should be an easy week. It should be a 5-2 week, but you never know. Orioles and Pirates they see the Brewers and think, oh, we can win this one, so they have the same mindset, right?
Yeah, no, this should be a nice week. And thank goodness that we're getting down to the end of all these stupid games against the AL. Let's play some real teams in the adult circuit instead of these American League teams.
Careful what you wish for. Then Memorial Day, they got the Red Sox and the Phillies are lurking on the schedule, and so are the Padres.
But, last year the Brewers played down to their competition. They played better against the better teams, and they would sit there and struggle against the teams that suck.
Yeah, it's true.
So maybe it's they've got a little bit of that in them again this year.
Yeah. Keep them coming, 877-794-1973. We gave a game ball to Pipe Bomb's other passion, the Milwaukee Admirals.
Oh, yeah.
For evening their series, and they game 3 against Texas is Wednesday at Panther Arena. Wednesday's the day that we talked to El Jefe, John Greenberg. So that's going to be some fun.
Indeed, it is.
It's going to be a fun night at the
playoff hockey, man. It's the best.
Yeah. And so now, KB, who do you like? Panthers, Hurricanes? Who do you got?
I like the Panthers. Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to go with the Panthers.
Still
I
for
just,
Edmonton,
just hockey in Carolina hockey in Florida doesn't make sense to me either. But I just like the Panthers are just so aggressive. I just like they're just going to come out and clean your clock. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that style. And then in the West, I do want Edmonton. Because I want to see Connor McDavid.
Every team that I kind of invest in gets railroaded out of the playoffs. Winnipeg and Toronto, and I want to see let's see a Canadian team compete for the cup.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't happened in a long time. Not as long as the drought for the Knicks. Look at the NBA's Final Four. We've been talking about this because in the NBA Final Four, you got 2 teams that have never won a championship: the Pacers and the T-Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Knicks haven't won since '73, and Oklahoma City's never won there, but the franchise, the Sonics, won last in 1979. So it's a new batch of teams. It's a changing of the guard, if you will. And you got great young stars. You got SGA is going to be the MVP, Alphabet Soup, and Anthony Edwards is just a blast to watch. Halliburton is the straw that stirs the drink for the Pacers. And then Jalen Brunson's Mr. Clutch for the Knicks. And the Knicks have that sixth man of the crowd at the Garden, that atmosphere, man. There's something the NBA needs the Knicks to be vibrant, because that's always a good place to play. We didn't give a game ball yet. Let's give a game ball to Giannis for doing the Q&A the other night.
All right, that game.
All right. Yes, Giannis was answering a bunch of questions.
Skunk out.
Favorite city to go play? New York. Now, when you say New York, it's not necessarily a Garden. I think he was meaning the Garden, but also Brooklyn. He's always said he's had some memorable nights in those buildings, and there's always like a lot of Greek fans there, and there's just juice from playing, the celebrities and just the energy that comes from being in New York. And then they said, what's your favorite city other than your hometown? And he said, Florida cities. So then immediately the conspiracy theorists go, oh, he's going to go play in Florida, or he's going to go play in New York. Well, we all know he's got this big meeting set up with Bucks Brass this week. I kind of, take the temperature meeting, and we'll see what comes of that. But I'm not worried about Giannis leaving now. I've decided not to sweat that, Just going to enjoy the ride while he's here. And I'm not going to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my tact now. Much like I'm just enjoying the Brewers ride. And I'm thinking of this as a developmental year and a step and maybe, a step back. The thing about the Brewers is if they lose 85 games this year, it doesn't mean that they won't win 92 next year, right? They're not that far away, but this might be just one of those years where it's just a step back.
Just like Murph said, you can't sit there and think about it like, oh, we're 4 games back. Oh, we might not be. Just live in the moment of each game. Just, I think if you live in the moment of each game, right? And please don't don't tell me how to fan text, right? But and it's impossible for people to do, right? Living in the moment is the hardest thing a human could possibly do. But if you could live in the moment with each pitch, I think you would enjoy the game, even the losses, until it's a real blowout. But I mean, even some of the losses you would enjoy too, because you're just, as it's happening.
Here's the existential question. And this is a little bit unfair, but what would you rather have with the baseball team that you follow most closely? Would you rather have an offense that struggles, strikes out 15 times on a given Friday night, tumbleweeds through the bases, gets shut out once a week, if not more often? Or would you rather have a team with a more vibrant offense that watches games puked away by the bullpen and you lose games from the 6th inning through the 8th where you just can't hold a lead at all and every time? I think the latter is worse.
I can't.
I would rather have airtight pitching and try to win games that way than
I don't like
lose games 9-5 every night.
I hate watching them piss games away.
So that's like, neither one is like enjoyable or ideal in any way, but given the choice, I'd rather have good pitching and a struggling offense. But the thing is, when your offense is struggling, and we hear it all the time, oh, they don't have any life. They don't have any. Then again, they're not scoring runs. They're not hitting home runs. They're not,
Then again, 2-1 games. I mean, pitchers duels every once in a while, but 2-1 games aren't all that exciting either.
Yeah, but
I mean, not all the time. They are sometimes, but not all the time.
I would rather be pissed at an offense than just the bullpen melting down night after night after night. That's just me. But neither one of them is great. Hey, Avery in Oconomowoc is with us. He's been calling once a week. Avery, good to hear from you. Welcome to the Timeout Sports Lounge.
Hey guys, I listen to you every day. When I'm picking my kid up from school, I listen to the 3 o'clock segment, the 4 o'clock segment, the 5 o'clock segment. Right now, I'm taking the kid to baseball practice. And, sometimes I just want to talk about what I want to talk about, but I realize, you guys are on topic, and I just want to share what I have to say. I play the sports books. I'm the hugest sports fan in the world. I play it when I'm healthy. And, it's a long season for the Brewers right now. And we just got to take it with a grain of salt, man. Players can get hot, especially when you got a lot of young players. But, you just got to give it some time, man. It's still not even really baseball season until the playoffs and then the gel ends. So, I was in the left field foul pole when Alonso hit that home run in the playoffs.
Oh.
Man, I just think we haven't rebounded since then. You lose Adames. There's going to be some growing pains, and some of you guys can argue that maybe Pat Murphy was riding the wave of what Council set up. You never know. We'll know later in the season, but I think I know you guys like talking Brewers because obviously the Bucks are out of it, but it's like I think we just need to relax and calm down.
Well, it's kind of what we're saying, Avery. That's kind of what we're saying. It's just like we're saying, don't think of this as a playoff or bust season. The playoffs would be a nice bonus, but this doesn't, through 45 games, doesn't strike me as a playoff team at all. So thank you, Avery. Appreciate you calling.
Season is still young.
Still very young. It could get worse. Could get worse this week, Pipe.
If I had to gamble with the 27 cents I've got in my pocket, I'd put it down that they're going to make the playoffs. Wow. Still. I don't get Cubs are going to Cub. Greg is going to figure out a way to mess that up.
420 was 70 minutes ago, Pipe Bomb.
I know.
All right. When we come back, we're going to play a little game, and we're going to try to give you 2 wristbands to the Harley-Davidson Homecoming coming up July 10th through the 13th at Veterans Park. Always a great time this year, especially Hank Williams Jr., Chris Stapleton, Turnpike Troubadours, and more. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you'll get 2 general admission wristbands for free from us next. Drew and KB statewide on the game.
My time of aging, wonder when I'll die. But when my time will come, I'll know the reason why.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Northbound 4145, lousy right now. Watertown Plank up to Burleigh with the ongoing construction. 35 to Good Hope. Northbound on 43 from the Marquette to Brown Deer takes 25. Over on 94, it's 15 in either direction. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Club Car Wash and ClubCarWash.com.
Your car's filthy, but not for long. Club Car Wash is opening soon in Sussex on Executive Drive across from Meyer on Lisbon. Get ready to take advantage of limited time specials with proceeds benefiting Big Brothers Big Sisters. Go to ClubCarWash.com for more.
Join the club.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Thought I would take a moment to reset an annual take that I had that for some reason aggravates a lot of people, but it seems so straightforward and obvious to me. And that's that the Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy in all sports to win. It just is. The NHL postseason is a 2-month all-out brawl with teams playing each other every other day for those 8 weeks. And every single game, every period, every single shift is intensified 20x over the regular season. And you have to win 4 best-of-7 series and 16 of these individual all-out wars on the ice in order to win the cup. I don't think I've ever seen a group of athletes sell out and endure the way NHLers have to win that cup. But I see it every single year. Why do you think every single player who's ever won the cup has their name etched onto the cup? That's how revered it is to go through that fire and come out the other end. Believe me, every trophy in pro sports is a mother to win, but none more so than the Stanley Cup. I'm Jim Rome.
O'Reilly.
You need parts? We got parts. Product availability? Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select brake pads for $10 more, or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or import direct pads for just $20. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Warning, the national debt is spiraling out of control. Trade wars are causing record volatility, and inflation could make a devastating comeback. Will you sit on the sidelines and wait, or will you take action today to help protect your hard-earned retirement savings? And what if you could do it tax and penalty-free? Find out more by requesting your free 2025 gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco. Plus, you could get an unlimited instant match on bonus silver if you qualify. Call 855-969-GOLD to learn more. That's 855-969-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
KB here. It's time to shed that winter weight, and the best way to do it is with Milwaukee Weight Loss. Schedule your free consultation at 262-433-4008 or visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-433-4008 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
we can be twinsies
to
how was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint or stain project, saving is at the top of your to-do list. Save now with buy one, get one half off select paints, stains, and primers from top brands like Valspar, HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, and Cabot via Visa gift card rebate. Find more Memorial Day deals now at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 5/15 through 5/28.
Hey, it's Drew Olson, and I have to tell you, I could not be happier with our new 97 Through the Game broadcast studio built by Reamer Remodel. It has been a game changer. And thanks to the Reamer Remodel team, RIEMER remodel.com.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Sarah Jessica Parker almost walked away from Sex and the City. She talks about that and a lot more on Are You a Charlotte? Plus, Snoop Dogg spills about his inauguration performance backlash. And trust me, he's got a lot of things to say about it with the Breakfast Club. And Aubrey O'Day, Diddy's former protege, joins Amy Robach and TJ Holmes for exclusive coverage of the trial that's gripping the nation.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
You can tell Pipe Bomb is in for Hunter right now. Just saying. Especially fresh off of Metal Fest weekend. The Rave and Eagles Club rocking.
Yeah, a little Frozen Soul for you.
There you go. 877-794-1973 is your ticket to the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. And by extension, the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge. Last week, we were giving away tickets to see Jay Moore on May 31st at American Place Casino, our favorite place south of the border. We're going to be hanging out there with Jay and with you if you drop by, but we are done handing out those tickets. But we encourage everybody to go check out Jay Moore because it's not just a comedy show. You're going to maybe have dinner, have drinks at the Canoe Bar. You're going to be at the playing Neptune and Zeus. You're going to be playing a little table games, maybe putting some bets down at the Circus Sportsbook. But that's May 31st, which is a Saturday night at the Lighthouse at American Place. Jay Moore will be rocking it. He was a good guest for us last week. We had
great,
interesting chat with him. Looking forward to seeing him in person and seeing his stand-up act. That's going to be fun. This week, we're on to the Harley Homecoming. That is July 10th through the 13th, Veterans Park in Milwaukee. They come and descend upon Milwaukee. Remember the roar. It's going to be as loud as Metal Fest in Milwaukee then with all the Harleys. But we have a pair of general admission wristbands for you to see that show. And it's going to be great because Chris Stapleton puts on a hell of a concert on a warm night outside. Hank Williams Jr., Chris Stapleton, Turnpike Troubadours, and others. We have a pair of 2-day GA wristbands. Now, if you don't win...
2-day.
Yeah, 2 days.
2 days.
Yep. If you don't win, the game listeners can get an exclusive deal. Go to hdhomecoming.com and use the promo code HDHC2025 at checkout. You get two-day general admission tickets for just $149. That's $60 off the regular price. Just for our listeners. hdhomecoming.com, promo code HDHC2025. There you go.
There you go.
So such a deal. But right now we have a chance to win. KB's in charge of our games.
What do we got? I got a new game. It's called It's All in Your Head.
Oh,
it's all in your head.
Now you're probably sitting back thinking, "Oh, I'm going to give you 4 clues to some sort of mental health disease." No, I'm not. Okay. But
are we naming the voices that you hear?
No, but I'm sitting back in the locker room and I look at my shelf and I realized that for some reason, and then I recalled it was because we were going to do this as a punishment for losing the League of Indifference, but we didn't. And I have 2 books that are study guides with sample SAT tests. So it's all in your head. I've taken a question off the SAT that I'm going to ask you. Now, it's not a hard question, okay? But I'm going to ask you this question right from the SAT test.
Oh, baby.
And if you can get it right, because you got to use your head, then you're going to get the tickets. So give us a call.
Aptitude test question from KB. 877-794-1973. First contestant to win the Harley-Davidson Homecoming wristbands is Kenny in Kansasville. Kenny, welcome to Drew and KB.
Kenny.
Welcome to the Timeout Sports Lounge presented by Central Standard.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
All right. Here's your question from the Scholastic Aptitude Test. 12 multiplied by 3 is the same as 4 multiplied by blank. Fill in the blank.
9.
You're the winner.
That was a
Sweet.
wow. I was told there would be
I-
no
I-
math, but Kenny, you're a winner, my
I
man.
started off with an easy one.
I had
Well,
a B in general math in high school.
You got a D in general math?
I had a B in
Oh, okay.
Hey, so you're a smart
I
one.
said that's good for a
All right,
D
so you
student.
got that right without a number 2 pencil. Very well done. Kenny, you are going to the HD homecoming. All we ask is that after you use those free tickets that you won from Drew and KB, shoot us a text the Monday after and let us know how the show was, what kind of time you had.
10-4, guys.
All right,
Appreciate it.
hang on the line. Kenny is a longtime listener to the program. Pipe Bomb is going to get your information. People really win. The SAT, do they still do that? Is it the ACT now?
I think the
Like,
ACT is the
standardized
big-
testing is biased. And
See, when I was in high school, I had to take the ACT. Everyone took the ACT.
mine was SAT.
And then then I went to the SAT for the longest time, and now I think it's back to the ACT. But I don't know. Doesn't matter. But I just looked in there. I found a relatively easy one that you could do quick. But if we continue with this game, and who knows if we will or we won't. If we do, I might get a little bit tougher. I might, although
I don't remember what I scored on the SAT. It was enough to get me into every college I applied to, which was like 3. Marquette, Wisconsin, and UW Milwaukee.
I know.
But I also remember that I was 100 points higher on the English than I was on the math.
See, now
Verbal or math.
I took the GRE, which for grad school, the graduate record examination, and then you had language was one of them, and you had logic was the other side. And so they were both out of 800, right? 800 on one, 800 on the other. I got 780 on the logic. And here's how I did it. I bought one of those books to study with. And in that logic side, those long story problems, that they get, if this and this and this and blah, 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 blah. The trick to those was, depending on how it read, there was a formula. And there were only 4 formulas. So if you learned the 4 formulas and then you read the question, then you knew, there are 8 hotel rooms and 4 people are in this, those things. If you read the question and then there were words in the question that kind of like tipped off what formula it was, and then you put the formula in, boom, you could nail them like that. So did I cheat? Sure. I probably did a little bit.
Well, yeah, I suppose a little.
I mean, it's not, I didn't go into it blind, but I thought that was kind of interesting that it's like, oh, there's a trick to this. So then how smart are you really if all you have to do is learn the trick? You're either really, really smart because you learned the trick, or you're an idiot because you had to use the trick. So I'm thinking I'm an idiot, but there you go.
Nowadays, SAT, ACT doesn't matter. It's Chat GPT.
Yeah, but you know what?
All the workarounds.
You could catch people on that kind of easy.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. One last order of business here is to remind folks to check out the final season. Like, we are giving Matt LePay the summer off.
Yes.
He was a weekly guest on our program, but he's got the summer off. He's going to be up north drinking bourbon and laughing in our general direction while we're down here working. But the final episode of season 3 of the Larrivee and LePay podcast is available to listen to right now. And they talk a little Badgers. They talk Packers post-draft and beginning of preview of the OTAs. You got the 2 voices of football in Wisconsin, Wayne Larrivee and Matt LePay, chopping it up. You can listen to every episode going back 3 seasons, available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you listen to podcasts, wherever you get them. It's presented by UW Credit Union, here for every you. We are here in the Timeout Sports Lounge. It's time to shut things down. We will be back with one for the road, our closing arguments, if you will. You got Drew and KB statewide on the game.
Hi, Matt LePay, your friendly game announcer for Ridgetop Exteriors. Is your home ready to stand out this season? Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardy, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they've delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com for your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Take 5 Oil Change.
After ending the Twins' 13-game winning streak at home Sunday, the Brewers will stay put as they host the Orioles, currently on a 6-game losing streak for Game 1 of 3 tonight. The Thunder heading to the Western Conference Finals. After demolishing the Nuggets in Game 7, they'll host the Timberwolves for Game 1 tomorrow. Scotty Scheffler captured the PGA Championship with a 5-stroke win at Quail Hollow, his 3rd career major win. I'm Frank Garrity.
Get oil changes that are pit stop fast. Take 5 Oil Change gets you in and out in 10 minutes and is teaming up with the movie F1 starring Brad Pitt. Book ahead or drive in and catch all the speed and action only in theaters June 27th. This film is not yet rated.
Back pain, neck pain, nerve pain, it's exhausting, and you deserve better. More than 80% of adults will experience significant back or neck pain at some time during their lives. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, their spine specialists use advanced diagnostics and innovative treatments to relieve pain and restore motion. From conservative therapy to minimally invasive procedures, your spine care is in expert hands. The OAW Spine team performs hundreds of surgeries annually. They're one of the most trusted names for back and spinal care in the region. With in-house imaging, physical therapy, and top-ranked surgeons, they make it easier to take the next step without pain holding you back. When I was in pain last fall, my first thought was to reach out to OAW, and it was the best decision I ever made. I recommend that you trust them with your pain and your care, too. All the information that you need to book your appointment can be found at orthowisconsin.com. That's orthowisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the 2nd largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
KB, it's that time of year again for Iron Jock.
Memorial Day weekend?
Well, yes, but Iron Jock needs to inventory their goods. You could say it's inventory count week at Iron Jock headquarters.
How can we help?
We can help Iron Jock move gear into the hands, bodies, and armpits of our smart and good-looking listeners of the game.
Come on, people. You heard Drew. Let's move some product.
Now through May 25th, when you buy $65 or more of Iron Jock Performance Apparel, use promo code INVENTORY30 to take 30% off your entire order. It's the best performance apparel on the planet. Yours for 30% less with the code INVENTORY30.
All built from state-of-the-art fabric and designed to keep you comfortable and fresh no matter where you are or what you find yourself doing.
And they'll even throw in a free Iron Jock string backpack as a bonus. These are nice little backpacks. I use mine all the time when I'm walking the dog or out and about, activities on the lakefront. They're great for summer.
Use promo code INVENTORY30 now through Sunday, May 25th.
Just go to ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
And thank you for supporting Iron Jock.
Kick off summer with Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Right now, get 5 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. Plus, get up to 40% off select major appliances and save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances $396 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/28. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Here's comedian Howie Mandel for hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
Yeah, I'm holding a new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-in sneaker, and first of all, I barely know I'm holding it. It's that light. You see, Cozy Fit is a cool new sneaker where the upper is made of a soft quilted material. It's kind of like a little puffer jacket for your feet, except it looks like a super stylish sneaker.
Introducing new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins, the latest comfort creation from Skechers. You can find Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
We've made it to the finish line, the Monday edition, Drew and KB from the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge, thecentralstandard.com. Learn about the Craft House and Kitchen. They got some cool stuff going on in the aviary. We tell you about the rooftop there on the edge of downtown, right near the 3rd Ward, Milwaukee and Clybourne Streets, to be specific. Go and check it out. They've got some cool stuff that I think we'll talk to Jim Cantor about tomorrow. Right now, though, we've had a robust day of game balls and kicks. I want to squeeze in one last game ball of the day to a guy who was on our show not that long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Tyson Harden is the high A pitcher of the week.
Get that skunk out!
How about that? He's been pitching really well. He threw a 7-inning. It was a doubleheader, so they played 2 7-inning games, and he threw a complete game, 7-inning complete game, and he has been very stingy giving up the hits. So kudos to him, and kudos to our friends with the T-Rats. They got some good ones, good players up there. A lot of fun too. All right, that's our last game ball and kick. Time for one for the road. We pour our drinks into a solo cup and head off into the night. Oh, by the way, I didn't get around to it, but I was going to give both a kick to the huevos to Yankees fans, because Yankees fans were booing the hell out of Juan Soto all weekend. When the Yankees-Mets Subway Series was on television last night, KB, while you were watching hockey. But I was going to kick Yankees fans for booing him because, not like the Yankees have never poached a free agent from a different team before, right? When they lose one, they get all poopy pants. So I was laughing about that. But then Soto, in the biggest series he's played in as a Met, was like 1 for 10, and he didn't run out a ground ball that could have been a hit. So it wasn't a good look for him either. So kick a ball on the balls, KB. That's
there. You go.
All right, time for one for the road. KB, what are you putting in your solo cup and taking with you from today, our first foray for this week?
Well, hopefully the Brewers can get healthy this week, but just always remember, it's never as good as it seems, and it's never as bad as it seems. So just have fun.
Yeah, that's why not. Enjoy the ride. Pipe Bomb, I don't know if it's fair to ask. You've only been with us for an hour, but what are you taking home from today's show?
That you guys have more fun than 2 people at work should legally have. So
you're not wrong.
The jealousness continues.
Thanks to Central Standard and Happy Place Hemp and all of our other enablers.
Oh, it helps.
It helps, absolutely. Pipe Bomb will be holding on the fort with Tim Allen tonight for the baseball postgame show following the Brewers game against the Orioles. Hunter Baumgart will set the table for that game with the baseball pregame show, which follows us on 97.3 The Game in Milwaukee. If you want to listen to it on the iHeartRadio app, please do. Hunter would appreciate the, he would appreciate the pop there.
Yeah.
If you listen. The Twins are getting ready to face the Guardians after they left Milwaukee yesterday. They were wrapping up a road trip, and the fans there have been told to take shelter for the first pitch because they got some nasty weather there. Remember those days?
Yeah.
Remember those days when we had rain delays and you had to worry about that and you were wondering if they were going to get a game in? Once again, bless George Petak that we don't have to worry about that crap. Plus, I had some folks say, yesterday, depending on where you were, yesterday might have felt like a nice day. It really wasn't.
I played golf yesterday, and by the end, we were like, this sucks.
It was cold, man.
It was very cold.
And the idea, like, temperature inside, even in the ballpark felt chilly. It was 63 yesterday in the ballpark, like 51 first pitch outside. It was not nice. Like, we have the roof. Why would we not use it? My parting shot, my one for the road is much like you, KB. It's like, just recalibrate with the Brewers. Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, just enjoy the ride.
But the idea that they're going to make one move that's going to put them over the top and make them a playoff team, I think that's a little far-fetched. I'd love to be wrong, but I just don't see it. And if it's a selling year where they sell and peel off some pieces and get more reinforcements, that's not the worst thing. Good things can come for that.
If you're wrong, you're going to get a neck tat?
I'm going to say no. But if I do, it'll be one from one of your Metal Fest bands.
There you go.
We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
Make good choices.
97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
This sports update is brought to you by American Place Casino. Nonstop